love this place!
Hey, man, is that
Double D?
Yeah, man. Well, turn it up, man.
Let's just go in and, like, kill all the orcs, right? They're the bad guys, who gives a shit? We just hack and slash and we loot their dead bodies, right? Hack and slash, kill them all, you know, conquer the infidels.
Boy, that campaign sounds like a barrel of fun, doesn't it?
Somebody who's opening a refrigerator and leaning in, right, is the language of a woman. Somebody who's opening their refrigerator and being cut off halfway through that lean is the voice of like a mermaid or a siren, right?
This is not the face of the hobby anymore. And I think there's been mistakes made in years past where people assumed that D&D players were all, you know, white dudes in a basement, which has been a faulty assumption for a lot of years and gets more and more false every day. And so it's, in my viewpoint, honestly, guys like me can't leave soon enough.
I just had to be born with empathy and a weakness for socialism and femboys. For socialism and femboys.
For socialism and femboys.
You gotta put a little hot sauce on the taco, you know what I mean?
We want this dwarf to be the dwarfiest dwarf.
Right.
We want the elf to be the elfiest elf.
And just the dashiest dash of Tabasco.
Their voices need to carry across water.
I'm a creative. It's a huge drain, right? Because fans can be awful.
When we got the descriptions, they were very adamant. They were like, try not to make it like a white blonde guy. Like, please, like, we love him, but there's like 500 million of them.
The diversity that the characters need to have needs to reflect the gaming world now. The mix of people that are playing these games, you know, it's not, you know, 13-year-old white boys held up in their basements. It's a very diverse crowd, you know.
You say white lives matter, they don't. White lives don't matter because white lives aren't a thing.
What's this? What's this? It's the jacket.
The jacket.
The jacket.
Lutherville, Marina Del X, Otisburg. Otisburg? Who's this monster? She's got her own place. Otisburg? It's a little bitty place. Otisburg? Okay, I just wiped it off. That's all. It's a little town. Yep.
We'll do it live. Okay. No. We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live! Fucking thing sucks!
5, 4, 3. Great sandwich!
Say hello to Jordy the Midget.
On guard.
Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis!
Double zeros, baby!
Howdy, howdy, howdy. All right, chat. What's your favorite Western? What's your favorite Western? We got ours. We know ours.
Of all time.
Of all time.
Yep. Some of that stuff in the intro, just still, me and Rogan just were cracking. It just makes us laugh.
My new favorite is the guy getting arrested when he goes, "Get your hand off my penis."
We got some stuff here to pay the bills, buddy.
Yep. And then we'll put up what you guys are saying about your favorite Westerns. As you can tell, Double D is dressed for Halloween, dressed for the occasion. Your dog brothers and sword sisters. Got a drink and pizza in the oven. Ready to chill with my peeps.
Oh, man.
Hope you all had a great week. And now, let the skull crack-a-lackin'.
He did make it more clear. The drink is not in the oven.
Yeah.
Just the pizza.
Yeah, just the pizza, yeah. We heard you. And yeah, it looks like we got 15 trillion people watching and only 8 likes. Smash that like button. Come on now, people.
Yeah.
You're better than that. I know you're better than that.
Don't cost a thing.
You slaughtered them all like animals.
Like animals.
I'm already... All right. Let's see here. I'm gonna put a couple up here.
It's all you.
Yep. Good choice. Outlaw Josie Wales,
Yes.
Clint Eastwood, a very late Western.
One of my favorites. One of mine, but
yeah.
Frank, are you talking which True Grit, the first one or the second one?
Yep. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I just watched this the other night on Pluto, High Plains Drifter. McClintock. Little John Wayne action there, I believe. Paint your wagon. Dino, yeah. That's the musical, isn't it? Is it not?
How about? I kind of also like Maverick with.
Oh
Mel
yeah.
Gibson.
Is that the where he goes? That's just mean.
No,
Oh, that's
that's Payback.
Yeah.
That's Payback.
Maverick's
yeah.
the one where he's like, Jesus, everybody's got a gun. Your security's worth shit.
All right. Well, there we go. Disco again, hitting us up. In line for the 1 second here. For the early MVP. Disco Barbarian. Outlaw Josie Wales for sure. But that movie, Curse of the Undead, I posted on X as the bomb for something outside the box. Ooh, I'll have to check that. Curse of the Undead. Have you heard of that, Rogan?
No, I'm curious. Very curious.
Okay.
Thank
you, Disco.
We got a couple Blazing Saddles.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Chris
Okay.
Miller, who is in the house today.
Chris.
Deadwood series.
Deadwood. Great series. Absolutely
Fine
phenomenal.
cast.
Do you know the guy
series.
from Something About Mary's in that?
Which guy?
Warren. And he plays Sturgeon's, like, the guy that wrestles.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, I can picture him. Yeah, because he's kind of a fat, oafish kind of guy, right?
That's Warren from Something About Mary.
Thank you very much, Disco. Rogan, do you want to tell us yours as I put it up? I'm going to put it up silently so I don't get struck.
All right. Well, mine is The Unforgiven.
Oh, yes.
But there's a close lineup of second there, but Unforgiven's my favorite.
Have you seen Unforgiven, Crazymouse?
I have not.
Yeah. This is one that's definitely worth watching. It's kind of a longer, a little bit longer. Obviously Clint in his, in his later years compared to his early movies, but man, is it good.
We got
Gene Hackman.
Jeff Hatch.
He's going to say Tombstone. However, I may offer Long Riders and Shane. Oh, yeah. My brother loves Shane, too. Oh, The Great Silence. Yes, Klaus Kinski is a badass as edgelord. On the Great Silence, that's a Western that takes place in the wintertime, which you don't often get. Very, very somber, dare I say, depressing at times, but man, is it good. It is a really, really good movie. Patrick Demo, $5. True Grit, anything with John Wayne. Yep. My late grandfather looked just like him. Ooh, as a toddler, I actually believe my papa was in a bunch of Westerns. Yeah.
All right.
I like the one, is it Rio Bravo? Is that the one with James Caan? I like that one. It's just it seems like it's always on like Pluto, and I'll just kind of put it on, and I've just kind of grown to love it. Disco Barbarian, $2. Like Sex and Pizza, no such thing as bad Western. Yeah, I can usually find something good in everyone. Chavez was pretty cool. Yep. Yeah, if you have not seen Unforgiven, I would say it's worth your time to block off 2 hours or so. Morgan Freeman is great in it. Yeah, Richard.
That's the guy from.
It's got a hell of a cast.
Oh
yeah,
God, yeah.
That guy was in Patriot Games, maybe the guy that they just
Richard
showed.
Harris.
Yeah,
he was also in Gladiator. Yeah.
He was also in. I'm drawing a blank.
Harry
on
Potter.
the
He was
name.
the first Dumbledore, wasn't he?
He was the first Dumbledore in Harry Potter. Yes.
The movie with Brad Pitt as Achilles.
Oh,
Troy.
Yeah. Now, some of you mentioned this, and Crazymouse, would you like to say what yours is?
I always lean towards Tombstone.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of Westerns, but I enjoyed Tombstone a lot.
This is probably one of the most watchable Westerns that you'll find. I mean,
when it's on, I always sit down and watch it.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where, and we always say this too, like Catch Me If You Can is another one. It's like a kind of a big Hollywood movie.
Shawshank.
But Shawshank is another one. Yep. Where no matter where you are, you come across it, you're like, oh, I'll watch it from here to the end.
And it is exceedingly quotable.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, there's probably not one scene that you can't have a quote inside your brain ready to toss out in any given moment.
Have you ever seen the SNL skit that kind of spoofs this?
I have not.
With Jake Gyllenhaal, where he is he's Doc Holliday.
I think I have.
Who's like really sick.
Yes, okay,
I have seen that.
Yeah.
That is it's hard to imagine there was a time when Saturday Night Live could be funny. It's been a little while.
Chomp.
Oh, there he is. Just talked to him yesterday. How you doing, buddy?
How is Shark doing?
Shark is doing good. Painting up his bolt action army. We talked about that. Good to see you here, my friend. What, Johnny Ringo?
I was just fooling about.
I still like when Ike Clanton is just all up in his grill, like, law don't go around here, law dog. He's like, yeah, I heard you the first time. Winner to the king. Chris Miller, $5. I was in Andersonville by, John Frankenheimer. It's Civil War, though. Oh, wow. Yeah. Andersonville is the legendarily awful prison camp.
Oh.
Yeah. Interesting. Chris Miller is a very interesting guy.
Yeah.
He had a chance to bang Aphrodite, and he didn't. Chris, that's still. I'm still. I don't know. Frank, our friend Dazzlebeef, lots of very powerful mustaches in Tombstone. Yeah,
the best.
Jeff Hatch is like living in the Western right now. Isn't he in
wild.
Arkansas, right?
Yeah, where are you at now? Yeah, Arkansas.
Dave Rudabaugh.
It's a southern, kind of like Django, Wild West TV series. Yeah.
Was that with Robert Conrad? Was that his name? The actor's name? I might have it wrong.
I just remember there was like a midget, like was it Professor Lovelace or something?
We got a 310 to Yuma.
Yeah. Now I would say that is. I know that is one that you definitely would like because it kind of leans a little bit more towards the Tombstone kind of watchable. You would really like 310 to Yuma. It is a really, really good movie.
Jeff Hatch says yes to Robert Conrad. Ballad of Buster Scruggs from Bleecker.
I haven't seen that.
Well, I might as well give you mine. Now you might. I love the spaghetti westerns. My favorite is For a Few Dollars More, the middle one. Just has the right pacing. The villain is perfect. Good, the bad, and the ugly. I love, but it's a little bit long. It does get all the attention. But number 2, For a Few Dollars More, is my favorite out of those movies. But I don't think that's the best Western.
We got some fighting words here.
I know,
Frank.
Oh, yep. There we go.
Well, love Dennis Quaid. Love this version of Doc Holliday, but.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not. Don't play around here, Frank. That don't play around here. Yeah, this is mine, and I just watched it pretty much from beginning to end the other day. This is, by some people's reckoning, the Western. It's not for everybody. It is long. It is languid.
What's the name of this one?
This is Once Upon a Time in the West. It's got Charles Bronson. I think he wanted to get Clint for this, but Clint had enough of Westerns by this time. Well, not Westerns, but Sergio's Westerns. And it has Henry Fonda as one of the baddest guys ever. I mean, everybody knows what he does, like right here in the beginning. It's like he tells you right at the start what kind of a character he is when there's a massacre at the ranch, and a little boy, aged probably like 8 or 10 or something like that. Good old Frank there. He does him in. This is, if you're looking for like giant like swoops of like what the West really was, this is it. This movie. He takes his time with it, but this movie has the best duel at the end of any Western, in my opinion. There's some good ones out there. Don't get me wrong. I love the one in Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, but this one is more personal. And man, Charles Bronson knocks it out of the park. Yeah, Shark, my man, having my back. Yep, it's a fantastic film, but it does require a little bit of I don't know, dare I say effort to watch, because man, is it long.
Like Titanic long?
No, not quite that. But
Titanic was like 2 movies.
Yeah, no, this isn't quite like that. This is like 2.5 hours probably.
That's good.
But look, it's Sergio Leone, and Jason Robards there is fantastic as Cheyenne, and Claudia Cardinal is, Sergio Leone barely had any women in his early westerns other than as props, and she actually is a really good character in this. But yeah, this kind of like tells the story of the West, including its pretty much its demise. As one of the themes in the movie, the railroad track that's going out to the coast, which will, of course, signify that 'tis done.
Who is the wackadoo that said that Dennis Quaid was a better Johnny Ringo?
I think that was Dazzlebeef, I think.
Was it?
I don't know.
Well, who's his favorite Joker? Jared Leto? I'm just clowning you. Everyone's entitled to what they think. That stuff doesn't bother me. I just like to stir the pot.
It was Dazzlebeef there. Then that's okay. You're entitled to that.
Quick and the Dead. Yeah, I've heard a couple people say, don't sleep on Quick and the Dead.
That's Russell Crowe too.
Was he in that?
I think younger, yes.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's our neighbor Sharon Stone too. Correct?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
My dad's cousin's daughter.
Yep.
My stepdad.
DM James, good to see you here, buddy. Outlaw Josie Wales is the best Western movie ever made. Yep,
love it. Absolutely,
I would never argue you on that. It all comes down to personal preference, but man, Outlaw Josie Wales is such a good movie.
And that was one of the quotes I quote at work often. Endeavor to persevere. When I got people I'm working with acting like morons, just stop and put my hand up and say, endeavor to persevere.
I like my favorite line out of Josie Wales is, man's got to make a living. Dying ain't much of a living.
Oh, that was a good scene.
Yeah, good. I like, of course, the Indian chief in Outlaw Josie Wales is great. Whatever his name is. Well, I hope everybody's doing well. We got some things to go over tonight. We're going to talk heavy metal, Wizards of the Coast. Maybe we'll start with Wizards of the Coast because it shouldn't take. It shouldn't take long. So back we go to the EFAP screen. All right, I'm gonna need control here.
You got
just
it
for a moment, buddy. Whoops, what we got here? We got going. Ooh, yeah.
Billy Bob's in Tombstone. He plays the crooked dealer.
Yeah, I didn't realize you were standing there. you may go. All right, so oh God. Wizards of the Coast up to their old tricks. Wizards of the Coast reportedly forcing applicants to sign a surviving non-disparagement clause to join the official Magic the Gathering Commander Rules Committee. It limits what I can say about them forever, even if the contract ends. Wow. This, of course, from Bounding into Comics. Pretty good site. A lot of junk on it. You got to kind of maneuver around it, but good site, Bounding into Comics. In a move that feels like it was ostensibly done solely in order to help the tabletop publisher retain full control of any and all narratives surrounding the popular trading card game, WotC is reportedly asking potential members of their new Magic the Gathering Commander Rules Committee to agree to a surviving non-disparagement clause, which in theory would prevent them from ever saying a negative word against the game or company for the rest of their respective lives.
That's crazy.
This is insanity.
For life.
Yeah. I'm not even sure if it's enforceable.
My cousin is a weatherman in our city, and he switched networks, and he had to do a non-compete or something.
Yeah, covenant not to compete
for 2 years, and
which is reasonable.
Yeah, after 1 year, it's already null and void. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And look, a non-disparagement clause for a year is fine. You know, just like I said, to always kind of keep tempers, let tempers kind of settle if there's an acrimonious separation. But for life, it just makes him look worse.
Heck yeah, it does.
Um,
Very petty.
Yes. Yeah. So they're talking about the commander format, which honestly, guys, I don't know much about because I'm not a Magic player. I'm not a Carter, as Rogan says.
Yeah, Carters.
Carter.
The only Carter I know that was the apartment complex in New Jack City.
I have no idea why they're doing. I mean, other than just Wizards of the Coast being like Wizards of the Coast, I have no idea why they would do this.
And they're really promoting their crummy Magic cards on this little thing here, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Gavin Dugan, Wizard. According to him, it seems Wizard of the Coast is moving along with their attempts to bring the
Not our
format
Gavin.
fully under their control. I think it has something to do with they weren't in full command of this new Commander format, which I guess is like a more accessible way to play Magic.
Chris Miller, he cracked me up right there.
Ooh, George and Mandy.
The age difference between those two in real life is like 14 years or something like that.
Oh, really?
I think. I know that he's 21, and that's Haley Osment. Remember young Forrest Gump?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Haley Joe Osment.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That's his sister.
Yep. Yeah, since I think WotC is doing a bad job managing Commander, could reasonably consider disparaging the company. This seems kind of important. They've said that all members of the new RC panel will receive the same contract that they're trying to give him, and that's Gavin Dugan. Jeez. Can't get rid of all these pop-ups here. But yeah, that's Wizards of the Coast. All right.
All you.
Yeah, well, let's
Want to do some cleanup?
Yeah, let's clean them up. Go ahead, you put them up. I'll knock them down.
Well, before we do those, let's acknowledge two people.
Who we got? Oh yeah, Death Angel Shadow. Yeah, new layoffs at WotC, but TDS per. Oh, is there really new layoffs? I didn't even realize that Death Angel Shadow. Wow. Okay. But TDS Perkins got a Jeff Hatch, Defender. Thank you very much, all you members, all you super chatters, everybody who gives out memberships. Yep, Outlaw Josie Wales, best Western ever made.
Love it.
Chris Miller, $2.
Bear fighting a bear. That's the one that cracked me up.
A bear fighting a bear, yeah. Disco Barbarian, $5. As my dad would have said, son, you got a better chance of catching polio. Patrick Demo, $5. Tell me you have no faith in your product without telling me you have no faith in your products. Absolutely. Yeah, that's kind of what it comes down to, doesn't it?
Projecting.
Thank you guys. Much appreciated. Yeah, so that is, unfortunately, Wizards of the Coast being Wizards of the Coast. Boy, man, that's unbelievable if they had more layoffs.
Well, they have AI doing all the work now.
Yeah, and honestly, the books are done. They don't need these people anymore. Arkansas for 3 weeks. Yeah, I mean, you run 4 games. Good. I'm glad there's a good community there. For
That
you,
is
Jeff.
good.
Yeah. Yep.
Jeff Hatch is one of those people. Like when you say his name, you say his last name too. I used to date a girl where her name was Lee. And when you talked about her, you always said her first and last name at the same time.
Some people are like
It's got to roll off the tongue. Can't
maybe because it's just one syllable.
2 syllables.
name.
Yeah, 2 syllables. Yeah, for sure.
Cal's telling everyone to hit that like button.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I don't understand what the delay is.
Yeah. What's up? What is up?
Autistically Accurate is telling us he's got 93 subscribers.
Oh, that's awesome. Let's see if we can get him over 100
There you
today.
go. Come on, guys. You know what to do. All right.
We almost got him to 100 last week.
No, we're going to get him over the top today. Subscribe to Autistically Accurate.
I watched a couple of his videos. I felt really stupid, but I felt enlightened as well.
Yes.
I enjoyed it
A little
immensely.
deep.
What is it? A bunch of geometry problems on there?
No, not quite, but uses a lot of 5-penny words, man.
Everyone recognizes her, don't they?
Yes.
Tarna.
We got a rumor.
Isn't there a rumor that Matt Mercer is joining WotC and Perkins is leaving? I don't believe that. He's got too good of a gig doing, like, being independent. I don't know why he'd want to be shackled with being essentially like a 9 to 5.
Yeah, didn't he drop D&D for his
dagger fart?
Yeah.
Yeah. You were a big reader of heavy metal, weren't you?
Oh, very much so. I remember the very first episode copy I got. I remember the store it was at. I remember who it was with.
You know, I was kind of like, oh, there's, I never sought it out, but if I'd see it on a newsstand, I'd, flip through it like, oh, this looks like a good one to buy. So I was very casual, as they say. Just a light just went out here. Oh, great.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Double D's not paying the bills.
Paying the electric.
That's a precursor to his mic going out later.
Yeah, exactly.
Quick, jump on the bike, run the generator.
So this came up on Twitter. Heavy metal. They're having a Kickstarter for a relaunch. So I asked, chainmail bikinis or woke bullshit, which will you be doing? Because guess what? This magazine essentially went out of business. And we'll look at some of the reasons why in just a minute here. I
have an opinion, but
Yeah.
you have the official scoop, but I have an opinion.
This is them. New crew, new vision, same badass, heavy metal spirit. Okay, we love chainmail bikini-clad babes. Now, some people are dubious. Some people are like, don't believe them. I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt here. They did say babes. If they were really if they were really woke, they probably wouldn't have used that term.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go under the assumption that they're gonna try to get it back to where it was. And I need control here for a minute here, buddy.
It's all yours. It's like hot chicks washing the Batmobile.
That's right. All right, so I think you guys should be able to see this. So this is from a couple years back. This is where they got into trouble. Heavy Metal Mag beclowned self on social media after pushback. Okay. Comic book fans of the original 80s animated film have been looking forward to another limited series comic starring Tarna, the film's main protagonist. But a reader who expressed their disappointment with the direction the comic was taking after seeing a recently revealed cover of the publisher's 6-issue miniseries from writer Stephanie Phillips, were met with ridicule and disdain by the magazine's social media account. You should never do that. You have to, even if you hate the quote-unquote chud that you're talking to, you can never do that if you're a company. So this was the cover.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that is not a good... It's just not good art. It's kind of mushy, muddy, and nobody wants to see Tarna. I don't even...
It doesn't honor the character that she was in the original movie.
Yeah. And I mean, I see what they're doing with that shoulder Paul drawn there, but it kind of looks... It's bad art because it looks just really, I don't know, awkward, doesn't it?
It looks like that Batman movie with the Batman nipples.
Yeah.
So it kind of reminds me of those outfits.
Yeah. So this, got, it's the 30-page finale, and, hey, look, Tarna's fully clothed, and it's okay if you put a little bit more clothes on her, but let her keep some of her, sexuality.
All she's missing right there is the Elric finger.
Horns
up.
Yeah, the horns up, yeah. So they were, of course, very pleased with themselves. Tarna is normally suited up in a bikini armor similar to Red Sonja, but that changed in Tarna 5, where she donned a full suit of armor. Writer Stephanie Phillips, oh boy, chatted recently about her redesigning Tarna's new battle armor. And look, I'm sorry, but it was on purpose. It was on purpose. One cool element to the finale was getting to design new battle armor for Tarna. Al and Brian created some of the coolest armor for Tarna that I hope we get to see beyond the issues. And nobody wants to see that shit. And we didn't get to see it because you guys literally ran the company into the ground after the way you started to talk. Like, that's just... All right, so Tarna, you saw the clip from Heavy Metal that I put in of her.
Yes.
That is ugly. She is ugly. Her face is like, I don't know, it's like all like squeezed together.
It just reminds me of Witchblade. The comic Witchblade, just different color hair and different color armor.
Yep. Look, this is your hero. And it's like you're getting guys to buy a magazine with a woman as the hero. I don't understand what the dealio is here, but that is not a good-looking chick.
Hi, Jeff. Jeff from Denkar.
Hey, what's up, Jeff? Fans were not impressed and expressed their displeasure on Instagram, where the person running Heavy Metal's account was quick to respond with ridicule and mockery. So it's this Shimatsamuna
bless you
person. Yes, thank you. Who was kind of took umbrage at it. Being afraid of a mob of sociopaths who try to cancel every drop of sexualization is concerning. Your so-called going forward is nothing but a cheap excuse, since New Armor style is so old-fashioned. Moving forward, my balls. Now, if you're the social media manager, you just have to say, well, we did our best. We hope you stick around. That's what you do. Unless you have an agenda and you're kind of fully on, one side of, things these days. No one is afraid here. The change in outfit is part of the storyline. As an author, I'm sure you understand that. If you read the series, you would know how silly your comment is. Okay. Here's another one. R.I.P. Tarna. Does changing clothes kill people? We had no idea. Do you not change your underwear? This explains so much.
How crappy.
Now that's petty. Like that. It's not funny in the least. And it's also like, and this isn't the same person. It isn't like one person was just being an a-hole and they had had enough. This guy says, I'm torn. While I generally despise bikini armor as a whole, I also have a pretty severe disdain for the complete changing of iconic characters and looks. At what point does it become an entirely different character? And where exactly is the ridiculous line for scantily clad heroines? Have you read the book to understand the context of the outfit? Or are you just making assumptions? Trust us. Read it and you'll understand. Oh,
Certainly says blue hair detected.
yeah, exactly. Yep. Also, people should change clothes and looks. That's natural. When was the last time the Scooby Gang changed their clothes?
Right.
Riddle me that. Gilligan's Island.
Yeah,
Except for Ginger.
What was the downfall of Scooby-Doo? When they changed it. Throwing Scrappy-Doo in there.
Yeah,
They had a good thing, they changed it. And they wrecked
Absolutely.
it.
And then this guy's just kind of saying what everybody else is noticing. The changes suck. Respect your fans. No, we don't want fans like that. Oh, the death knell. We are good, thank you.
That is just Here's these people that are interested. They're participating. They're anticipating something fantastic, something they've experienced in the past, and they just shit all over them.
Yep. That's the old Kelly Sue DeConnick. If you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. That is. They were kind of. This was from 2021, so we were still kind of in the heyday of that kind of attitude. I think they're starting to get a little wiser now. These people.
Bleecker says he hasn't changed his underwear in a long time, so the joke's on them.
You got him, Bleecker. You got him.
Snake oil here. Good to see you, buddy.
Yep. We got some cleaning up to do.
Oh yeah, we
also Chris Miller said Mad Scribe number 7's out and number 8 is in review.
Oh yeah, guys. In case you haven't noticed, in every video and every live stream, I have a permanent link to Chris Miller's stuff. For RPG Pundit and also just Mad Scribe magazine. You guys see him here. You know he supports the channel. I've met him in person. Good dude. Support him. Get Mad Scribe magazine. Please. Good dude. The new people running Heavy Metal must really hate their fans. Why do you hate us? Think about your question realistically. You're an adult, we assume. Oh, God.
What the hell?
Would it make sense for a company that works so hard to create and bring new art to hate its fans? Or are you just uncomfortable with change and growth? Oh, change and growth. There you go. That's directly out of the old playbook from that side. Do you hate us because we've grown out of the box and your comfort level? Yeah, you grew out of your job too, because you fucking tanked the company right after this. Sit with that. Now they're telling them, sit with that. We love our fans, but they can either grow up with or stay behind clinging to an idealized past. All right, so what are the chances that this is a, a right-leaning guy writing this? Of course, it's a woman. She's got blue hair, as somebody said.
Mm-hmm.
They finally cover she up. Most people have more than one outfit, it turns out. Yep, and then they went on Twitter, did the same thing. You guys get the general idea, though. When I saw this, it led me to ask my question: what's it going to be? Chainmail bikinis or woke bullshit? Now they say new crew, new /old direction. We'll see. This isn't live yet.
Do you know if Kevin Eastman is still involved?
Ooh, that I don't know. That I'm not sure. Good question, though. Yep, it seems they're leaning into it. We're making heavy metal heavy again. I think you have to kind of knowing guys, they can't come out and just probably say, although they probably should, just like, the people who used to run this magazine were fucking retards, But you can kind of tell they're sort of trying to disavow any connection with the way it ended before.
Look at those covers. Absolutely iconic. Remarkable.
Yes. So they're bringing stuff like this up. They're promoting stuff like this. Look at the center magazine that they've chosen to showcase on their Kickstarter page. I'm going to give it a shot, guys. And look, if I get duped, oh well, I got duped. I'm out, $20-$30, whatever it's going to be. That's okay. I'll give them a chance. And you know what? If they screw it up this time, then guess what? Nobody's ever going to buy heavy metal again.
Gavin might give you his money back.
That's right. Yeah. Get your guarantee from.
I'll join the Kickstarter then. I'm seeing that.
Not live yet, but just get the reminder and it's. I don't know. What do you like? You like what you see here, Rogan?
I like what I see, absolutely. And I in regards to my comment about Kevin Eastman, I've always enjoyed a lot of the stuff he's done. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were fantastic. Him jumping in and buying a heavy metal when it was in a low point. I mean, he drove it in a pretty fair direction. My problem with him is with Heavy Metal 2. The movie.
Oh, the movie.
The movie.
Some people like it.
And I don't know if anyone knows that he married Julie Strain, who's a 6'2" and
oh yeah, I remember Julie Strain.
A remarkably beautiful woman, not very talented, but she did a lot of B movies and stuff like that.
I was gonna say she didn't have to be talented the way she looked.
Right. So their big anniversary issue, and I have it at home someplace. I forget how many years it was a reprint of his Eastman's project he did long before Heavy Metal. It wasn't even part of Heavy Metal at all. Mm-hmm. It was just a reprint of a graphic novel or a short series he did, Melting Pot, and I have that at home as well.
Okay, gotcha.
And I was appalled. Like I had almost every single episode or issue of Heavy Metal magazine. Wow. I was been collecting them since '79.
Holy shit! I didn't even realize.
I lost a bunch of them in our last home when we had some water coming in, so I've got a big pocket in there. But I have 2 through. I don't have issue number. I'm getting off topic here. Yeah. My problem was, here's your big anniversary issue, and you do a reprint of something you did, for another print, for another company. It was extremely disappointing. And then the movie.
It's kind of reminiscent of like the end of Star Trek Enterprise. Like the last episode of Enterprise was essentially like a holodeck simulation for Star Trek: The Next Generation. So all the Enterprise fans are like, man, what a bad way to send off a show that was already getting, taken off like a year early. And then like the final indignity was like, you couldn't even give us our own show. It was like a holodeck thing that was tied into the Next Generation.
So like the movie, the Heavy Metal 2 movie, was just a different version of Melting Pot changed around, and it was kind of a springboard-ish for Julie Strain, her animated version, and it sucked. In fact, I think I gave you my copy. I think I lent it to him, like, you can have it.
Yes. I saw like it was not. Yeah, I didn't. I think I watched like half of it, and I was like, man, this isn't anything like the original.
It's not. It's not. So. That was a big, for me, that was a big kick in
Yeah. Chris Miller, $5. New crew, new vision. See, Chris is one who's dubious. That sounds kind of like made for modern audiences. I'm also not happy that they're stealing my thunder a bit. I can understand that. I can definitely understand that, guys. That just reinforces, please, but before you give a dime to heavy metal, the new heavy metal, please check out Mad Scribe. It's Chris.
It is awesome.
I've contributed to it. A lot of folks on our side contribute.
Did you contribute like a bar fight scene?
Set of rules. Yeah, a little bit of bar. It's kind of the one that we use in our game. It's just kind of that version. So yeah. So please, guys, support Chris Miller. I mean, it's not like it's charity. Like Mad Scribe magazine is like a solid magazine. You get cosplayers in there. You get adventure tips, all that stuff. Disco Barbarian, $5. Like I told Nerd Cognitos, we'll give them a chance, and if they're lying, we will burn them. Yep, exactly. Jeff Hatch, $5. I offer this. Her armor, like her sword, is highly enchanted, so she won't change it. Yeah, exactly. The easy way to do it. Easy way to do it. It's magic armor, and if I take it off, I lose that bonus.
And that scene where she dives in the water and she swims to the end of that water thingy up to that statue, and then she dons her clothes nude.
Makes me want to watch the movie again.
Fuck yeah, I've seen that movie. I can't tell you how many times I've saw it.
Yeah, it's so good. Chris Miller, another $5. This is a blessing in disguise. I'll just do the opposite of them with my magazine, and it'll be a hit. LOL. Yep. We know you'll keep it real, buddy. $10. Dr. Yorius Papers, 2020. Jeff Goldberg is a trash, and so is The Atlantic. The family refuted his entire story today. By the way, same guy that wrote the Normandy story. Yeah, the closer we get to the election, the more crazy it is. Yeah, all I can say, guys, is vote and vote early, especially if you're on the, let's just say, the right side. I already voted, so I already did it. I think Mrs. D, I'm going to try to get her to vote early. In fact, today they had a thing. I got to see Christy Nome and Byron Donald. A bunch of it was just like essentially like a tour bus came through town. Christy Nome is hot, even if she did kill a dog. Mac Thompson, $2. Stop effing up our nerd history, you woke commies.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, look, I even went further, and I told him, you would have liked this, Crazymouse. In another response, I said, if anybody starts talking about diversity and inclusion, I said, just do this. And it was the scene you love from Braveheart where he throws him out the window. A good catch there, Crazymouse. Can't get anything by him. He always rolls high on his spot. Hungar the Starvarian is a defender. Good to see you, buddy. Glad you're doing well. Marvelous, Mr. Mean. Just sticky R for a couple months. Thank you very much. Those responses from Heavy Metal sound like something Alyssa Mercante would say. I would say this, guys, look what they featured on the Kickstarter page. If they really didn't like it, they wouldn't have featured the bikini. The woman in the bikini was pretty clearly featured.
And look at the robot. The robot had boobs as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The one on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, I'm going to give him a shot. And that doesn't mean I'm not, going to support, obviously like Chris or anything else. But look, what you guys do is obviously up to you. So you can, hey, look, maybe you guys are of the mind now, well, guess what? You screwed it up, and now you have to show me. Now I'm going to need proof. It's got to get into other people's hands first, and they have to tell me, this doesn't suck, this isn't woke. The old heavy metal is back, and which is perfectly fine, too. Hey, look, that's what happens when you violate trust. It's hard to get it back, and I can see where a lot of people are like, not yet. So, yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'm Alyssa Mercante. God, what a piece of work she is. Yeah.
Well, this does excite me. I just remember how I love comic books, and that right there was one of the ones that bursted right out. I'm like, holy cow! Look, I'm like, so many different stories, so many different styles, so many different perspectives in regards to science fiction and all kinds of stuff, all mashed up in that between two covers. It was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah,
I fell in love with it immediately.
Oh yeah, at its best, Like, I mean, it was kick-ass. It was everything you'd want, like, from D&D.
Oh yeah.
You know, like at the time, like, oh yeah, this is what D&D should be, you know, or whatever, sci-fi.
They would do these serials, and you have to go out, buy 10 issues that could finish the storyline of any particular story, a handful of stories. They're just phenomenal, and they're amazing artists.
Oh yeah,
amazing artists and amazing writers.
Patrick Demo, $5. I have never understood the millennial mindset of taking over a hobby or an art form, the expectation of success. Neither have I, Patrick. They fundamentally don't understand what people want from certain things.
Yeah.
We said the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's like you can create someone who's buttoned up like Tarna, see if it sells, and then look, maybe it will. You know, but you have to kind of like write a new story around it. When you have a legendary character who's known for being sexy and, you know, kicking ass, and it's like, I don't understand. It's like, you woke assholes have 85% of what you want. You got a bunch of guys buying a magazine for a female hero that they love, proving that it's not like sexist. And yeah, they put a little titillation in there because guess what? Guess what guys are programmed to do, you know, from, you know, several 100,000 years of evolution. You know, we kind of like that stuff.
From birth.
Yeah. So it's like
what do we suck on?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Wonka.
It's so there's nothing wrong with pairing, you know, a little bit of, you know, sexiness with that kind of kick-ass, you know, nature. But it's like, all right, you have all that, but you want that last 15%, and you're going to destroy your audience over it. Really? It's like, take the W. You know, you already got a female representation, but no, it's not good enough because, and you know why? It's because she's better looking than all these hags that they hire for, you know, like the social media manager, I guarantee you, is a fat blue-haired hag. And, you know, they, look, the only people, you know, worse to women than men are other women, as we all know. And, you know, women can't stand the competition. So, yeah, it comes down to that as well. You see the question, what is your favorite level to play in D&D? What is the sweet spot? What do you guys think? Because you're
4, 5, and 6.
4, 5, and 6.
If you had to pick one number, it's going right in the middle with 5?
Nope.
Or do you like 6?
I was football number 5, but I would probably just pick. I'm trying to think. Thieves, backstab. It would be 5 because it goes 1. It goes 1, 3, 5 for backstab. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So
Yep.
it would be 5.
Yeah. Those are the best levels I to run. Obviously, I don't play D&D that much. But yeah,
you did with me.
Yeah,
that
was like over.
I ran a Gonzo game before.
Yeah, Venger
ever thought of it.
That was cool.
It was cool. It was Gonzo.
He had Sun Devils from
Arizona
State. He's like, yeah, these are Sun Devils.
I love the concept.
Like we are along for the ride. Yeah, it was fun. A lot of people say 5, but I didn't realize that. Yeah, Fireball, second attack for marshals, call lightning, cantrip. Okay, yeah. So there's some strategic reasons, you know, but I just like that the characters. Then this comes from a DM's point of view.
Hello, Patty.
Patty, how you doing?
Good day, mate.
Just it's a good level. It's a good level because the characters are not pushovers. Like you don't have to worry about breathing on them too hard and having them fall. You know, but they're also not world beaters yet either, unless it's like 5th edition.
We got tons of 5s. We got 1 4, and here's Krugus with a 7.
7th. Ooh, you like yours a little higher, huh?
His spice level's a little bit higher.
Yeah, Meat says level 1 is easy. Come easy, go.
I don't know.
There's something fun about first level that you are kind of near death.
The innocence.
The innocence. You're kind of meeting everybody. You're meeting your group. It's one of those things. It's kind of like the early days of like high school. I guess that's how I would kind of term it. Like you're meeting people. And maybe you don't realize like, oh, these are the good old days. You know, level 1. Edgelord level 0 in DCC, the old funnel. Yeah, we're going to have to try that one of these days. Multiple characters, and whichever one survives is the one that comes out, and that's who you go with. I do like that system. By the way, I was still, as far as I know, nobody from Goodman is on that Gamers for Harris list. To me, that kind of puts them back in, maybe not the goodest of graces, but it kind of puts them back to where, like, okay, I don't feel bad about having, DCC or MCC stuff on my shelf anymore.
Was yours number 5 as well?
Mine was 7.
7? You and Krugus.
You and Krugus like the, yeah.
You like your taco meat a little bit spicier.
Rogan is you have to understand, Crazymouse likes to play thieves. Rogan likes to play butt kickers.
Yeah.
Like there was a I can't remember, it was Robin Laws, like his, like the kinds of characters that, players are looking to play. Yeah, I think Rogan would be termed a butt kicker. You're there to roll dice and like inflict maximum damage. Right?
I think that at our table, Rogan has always played that character, and I am always a thief. I just like it. I know the rules, I think pretty good. I will say Gavin does mix it up. There's times he likes to be a power gamer, but he also isn't afraid to be a magic user or a cleric.
Same with Sean.
And same with Stern. Right.
Yeah. One of my favorite characters was the thief that I created. I really like. I fall into the fighter because we need a heavy, and most everyone else is doing something else.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, it's easy being a fighter, but the thief that I played, I enjoyed that immensely.
Yep.
I played a barbarian once and I liked it.
Grendel. Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, he was awesome.
They're fun to play.
Stern has, when he was a paladin, he would be up there with I'm going to pop this up
Go ahead.
quick,
Yep,
buddy.
Yep.
Stern played a paladin, so he was a front line.
Yes.
Gavin played. Gavin, when he was Gavin, was a front line guy.
Yeah, and the thing about those is, it's like those guys are always in front. They're taking the best of the enemies, the best that the enemy can give them. So a lot of times they're the ones that end up dying.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, as Rogan can tell you, like, as he went through a bad stretch where like he lost like 3 characters.
Oh, I they're right up front.
He took it up in therapy.
Yeah,
He's like,
right, yeah.
my DM hates me. And the therapist was like, what?
He
What does
says
that
I'm
mean?
his friend, but he keeps killing my characters. What do I do?
I don't know. That'll be $400, and I'll see you next week.
Jeffrem has been a Justiciar for a long period of time. Thank you, Jeffrem. I prefer higher level play in D&D, 2E, 3.5 Pathfinder, and 1E. Not only from the build up, but seeing your character truly affect the world. 9th level plus, yeah. Yeah, the good thing about being in Birthright is, I don't know, just the way these characters kind of come up, there's always a chance for them to interact with like kind of nobility, and these guys got to experience that last week. They were invited to a banquet. Well, Crazymouse's character saved the Emperor's lion, who was running free in the streets, and everybody was running around trying to kill it because they were scared to death. And he all of a sudden became the lion whisperer.
I'd earned that shit.
He had to make 2 high rolls, and you double 19s, right?
I rolled 2 19s.
Blasted it.
I'm like, all right, this is going to be hard because you're just a thief. And he's like literally just popped out in the middle of the street, put his hand out and said, we mean you no harm.
Yeah. I rolled a 19. Then with my modifiers, it turned into a nice roll. And then double D said, and then I had to pull out the spear someone did hit it with. And
yeah.
It was going to have some recoil. And he's like, you got to roll again. And I said, all right. And I rolled another 19. I'm like, what else do I got to do here?
Yeah, he's never afraid to
bring that shit to me.
Yeah, to man up and make the roll, which he did. It's one of those things too, guys, because that's sort of a random encounter in the city, but
a lion, I would say so.
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't expect to do that every. It was kind of like the theme of the night. This lion is out there and it's hiding and it's trying to survive and all that. So, but there were other things going on, and then all of a sudden, boom! At the very end of the session, it happens. But then there's repercussions because, all right, this little gutter snipes thief. This I don't know how we termed it. This bumpkin. Yeah, saves the emperor's lion for his personal zoo. Well, guess what? The word gets out, and then all of a sudden, people from the palace come out. You're the one that a teenage boy, saved the emperor's pet. Guess where you're coming? You're coming to get a personal thank you from the emperor.
I like that.
And you can bring your friends too.
We brought more than
we brought you.
Boy, he was stretching the guest list.
What's your name? You can come with us.
Yes. They were expecting more of like a +1, maybe +2. It ended up being like a +7.
We send the short bus, they pick him up. No, we need the big bus.
Yeah, the under chamberlain was like, oh, well, that's okay. Yeah, don't worry. The emperor's pleased with you. So,
but we did earn it there. We did earn it there when things went south there.
Yeah, absolutely. Things went south while they were in the palace, later at night. So guess what? They got a little bit of an in now in the palace. In fact, you have a medallion, do you not?
I do.
Crazymouse.
It's like a turnover chain in football. I can come and go as I please.
He got to name the lion too.
I named it.
That was the emperor's one of his gifts.
I named it after the emperor's father. I believe.
And grandfather too.
And grandfather Adam.
Yep. So
Adam
there you
the
go.
lion.
These guys are just listening to us rattle on. I love talking about our
Bob Galt plays bards.
Yeah.
I threatened to play a bard once, a dwarven bard with a bagpipe.
We have a good bard now.
We do.
He's got a good
the canary.
Yeah, the red canary. He's got a good relationship with like an NPC.
Stern rocks it.
Yeah, he does it. Well, Stern's a really good player.
He's a very good
really
role
is.
player,
Yeah,
for sure.
He's a great player. Everybody is.
You
at the
can't
table,
eat peanuts at the table worth shit.
Yeah.
He's a good role player.
Chris Miller said, at Shark, I had a barbarian named Hagar who looked like an 80s rock band singer. Ooh, nice. Seems like everybody kind of settled into that 5 to 7, maybe a little higher, which is heartening because if I was a player, that's probably where I'd want to be. And as a DM, these are the funnest levels right now. I'm kind of glad, too, that in Castles and Crusades, it takes a little while. It takes a little while to level up. And you shouldn't be, it's like your youth. You shouldn't be like wishing it away. Like, I know you want to, like, everybody, you need to advance, of course, but you shouldn't be like hoping like, I want to advance in 2 sessions.
No,
Tim Shanks.
every experience point earned is well earned.
Yep. We played 12 hours a week for 10 years. The first level group got to 12th level, and the 9th level group got to 16th or so. Wow. 12 hours a week.
That's grinding.
That is hardcore.
We used to do that.
Yeah.
We double dipped.
Yeah, we would double dip.
Yeah. A long time ago, we did Fridays and Saturdays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if there was something going on, we'd be like, everybody come tomorrow? Let's do it. And when I first started, playing again in the early 90s, we would do like all-nighters, like literally from 5 p.m. to 2, sometimes 3 in the morning. Whew. I mean,
We did that a couple times here. We
Yeah.
did, when I joined, like looking at the clock, wow, it's almost 2.
There are times it's like, look, I could do it, but it's like everybody's gracious enough to come to my house. So it's like, I'm not, and some people like Zolt, they deliver mail. So they have to get up in the morning the next day, even though he probably wouldn't say anything. He'd be like, it's all right. But yeah, we haven't had an all-nighter in a while.
Chris Miller says in the 80s, his regular session was 8 to 10 hours. That rocks.
Yeah. 8 to 10 hours.
You feeding them, Chris, back in the day? How would the food work?
Yeah, you'd almost have to, right? Get a couple pizzas or something.
We have people usually bring food, bag of chips,
more
and
snacks.
something.
Yeah.
Double D's a good host. Do you know who would be a great host? Gavin. You go over to his house for anything and been like just bountiful amounts of food and drink and stuff like that at his house.
Very generous.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, see, we don't start sometimes till, normally we're starting at 9 and we go to like 12:30 these days. So we're definitely getting older.
Well, it is. Zolt's got to work in the mornings. I work in the on Saturday mornings. Stern works on Saturday mornings. So it just gets harder.
Yeah.
But back before we didn't have like, there was no KG Mouse, no Derek Mouse,
Yeah,
no Sophia
kids.
Mouse.
Yeah, it's like you didn't footloose and fancy free.
Dan says he plays about 6 to 8 hours on Sundays.
That's awesome.
After church, of course.
Nice. Yeah, Sunday used to be, like when I first started, Sunday used to be our day too. Then when that group kind of fell apart a little bit, I mean, Gavin still came and my wife still survived it.
You're married?
Still?
Boomer.
Yeah, then we moved it to Friday.
Ferg's
The
food.
game store and had a hot dog stand next door. Okay, there you go. You broke for lunch and dinner. Yeah. I think that would have its advantages playing out. But you are, I guess you can't be quite as relaxed as you would be in somebody's house. Again, it probably depends on the house.
I think everyone here is very comfortable.
Yeah, to be fair, it's a lot of it is because Mrs. D is also a player. Like, if you have like a significant other, like who's not a gamer, and you hosted a weekly game, like it might be fine for the first year or two. And then, I don't know, you might start getting some dirty looks. I'm not saying you would for sure.
I told you I have a theory. I've always had a theory about
couples that play together, stay together.
Yeah.
That's a good theory. It is. Patrick, $5. Every gaming get together, the Demo household caters. Ooh, nice. I put out the grill. We have a snack pantry, and our game space has a fully stocked fridge. Yeah, I would, if we started a little earlier. I think the problem with us, Patrick, is everybody's already eaten dinner by the time they come here. So there was times where we used to get like pizza and wings before.
But that's kind of KFC. We used to do
KFC, but we used to start a little earlier. I wouldn't mind starting like around 8-ish, but I'm not gonna like force that on anybody. It seems like we're in a good groove now. 3.5
I think
is good.
what's weird when you talk about that. I don't know if it wouldn't fly. The whole reason we started later was actually for Gavin, who doesn't even play anymore.
Yeah.
So long shot. So I'm not sure that wouldn't go over, but.
Well, I'll tell you, we're going to, this coming week is my Friday, my yearly Halloween one shot. And we are definitely starting early with that.
Not only is that
see how it goes.
An exception because of the Halloween, Gavin, even though he's not playing anymore, but he made a mention today about him coming back, and I'll get into that off camera. But
he's just taking a break. He just had to take a break.
He doesn't work now. So like, let's pretend he did come back, and you said we're going to start playing at 8. I don't see that wouldn't work because he's not working.
That's true. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So he might be. Yeah, he might be good with it. Yeah.
And when the kids were littler, it just backing it up a little
Bath
bit.
time. Have fun, honey. I'm out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was
See ya.
That was not popular around the Rogan household. So, but
well, that's I was thinking like if you ever hosted like Mrs. Rogan would have been like she'd have been like fine for like 2 weeks, and then she'd have been
fine for 5 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah. When are these people leaving? You're being too loud.
I tried to teach her to play Magic the Gathering, and we weren't even married, and I almost got divorced.
Frank Dazzlebeef, $2. Took me 35 years to get my wife to try a game. Yeah, look, some are just not gamers, and you can't force it on them. I mean, it's not.
Look who's making it rain.
Bam.
Snake Oil, Sean, good to see you, my friend. 5 memberships. My man. Give him a little. You got the board over there, my man.
I tried to press it earlier, but
it's not working.
It wasn't. See, it's not. Nothing's happening.
Hold on. I think I know why. Because Double D's being a double dork. Try it now.
I was hitting some stuff.
Clear out of here!
So you were hitting verify, not modify.
Yeah,
verify.
Yeah, that was probably me.
No, that is entirely Double D. Yeah, being a boomer. Yeah, thank you so much, Sean. Yep, I gave you a tombstone drop too. Did you see that? A new tombstone drop?
I see it, but I don't know what it's gonna do because it's cut off.
Well, give it a shot.
You called down the thunder. Well, now you got it.
On it says you call.
Yeah, you called down. No, I can't. It's a pretty long phrase. I can't put the whole thing on there.
I'm just telling you what it says.
Yeah, my group from '83 are all. Oh man,
I know. What,
Chris?
I put that
breaking,
up there.
breaking
not
my
for
heart. Yeah,
morbidity.
Yeah.
I put it up there for really.
Yeah. Ouch. Yeah. In memoriam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're all getting older. I mean, most of us. My audience skews a little. He just likes to see his little.
We're gonna put that up all night.
Yes. Patrick Demo, $5. I can attest to couples who game together. Yeah, you met Joyce over a love of gaming, and we found all of our fam through gaming. Yeah, 14 years of bliss. Yeah, and you guys make a fantastic couple.
We do,
Patrick. Yeah, it was great to meet you and talk to you guys. Yeah, and I can see where you guys would have a lot of fun hosting and playing together. Yep. Yeah, it's honestly, guys, if you're lucky enough. I don't know if it's like they're not quite like unicorns, but they're pretty rare. You know, the women that are not only game. So I bet there's a lot of women who game to kind of like do
Placate
stuff with their husband,
right?
Yeah, which is great. I mean, and they're to be commended. But to have someone who does that, but also loves it too. Like, honestly, there you go. Oh boy, you guys, the secret, the cat's out of the bag now. You guys know how to get your stuff read. He loves his little his old icon.
I made a painting of that.
You did, yeah.
I'm a very amateur painter, but I enjoy it.
I like your painting.
I drew a picture of the Crazymouse and I painted it. It has a blue background. I also drew a picture of I also painted a picture of a chicken wearing Air Force Ones. So,
Swagnesium, better dating advice than Condor last week.
Speaking of Condor, something happened where I realized he looked like somebody.
Oh yeah.
And it's gonna come to me, but I was watching something and I was like, that looks just like him.
He's got a pretty unique.
It's gonna come to me. That's like the.
To me, he always looks like Non from Superman 2.
Right.
Because he's got the beard. And,
I know the guy you're talking about.
Yeah, the kind of deaf mute guy. Should we watch some Scotty?
Yeah,
let's do that. We miss him.
Before you do that,
yeah, we'll clean that up. Yep. DM James, if you're
hold on.
Clear eye here.
You got to do them upright. If your slab power is strong, you can force your wife to game and cook food for the game. Damn, James, you are a legend, my friend.
Hand
a legend. Been a little while since we visited Scotty. Let's see what he has to say. He's been dropping videos left and right. Of course, we love Scott. Give him a subscribe over there if you would. Tell him we sent you.
Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. And we're going to talk about, I got an unusual one for you today. We're going to talk about American gridiron football.
I got something already. Where's all the stickers on his sun visor?
I think he's got a new car.
I do too. I think
he's got a new car. We kind of noted that the last couple times.
Yep. But today he's driving into daylight. Yeah. He's dashing into daytime.
It's not Garibay by night. So he's talking NFL football, and he's going to try to tie it in, I think, to D&D.
Good luck.
All right. Clock's ticking.
So, the reason why we're going to do this is I have watched 4, sat down. Actually, I saw a Philadelphia Eagles, for realsies, Philadelphia Eagles, right? The real team. Philadelphia Eagles, American Gridiron Football Team.
I just did the old nose pick. Nose rub, nose pick.
I saw them play a preseason game against the Vikings. And the reason why was a gentleman offered me free tickets to go with him, right? I was like, oh, yeah, of course. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Now, American professional football is so valuable that it's almost unheard of to get free tickets.
Not to a preseason game.
Yeah,
let's be perfectly clear here.
Free tank of gas.
Yeah, sometimes they can't give those things away, Scott. But yeah, maybe the regular season ones, depending on where you're at. But preseason, most people pass on those.
That's why he had them to give away.
That's why you were going.
When you buy season tickets, you have to buy the preseason ones as well.
Yeah, they force you to. Yeah, it's all part of the lovely package.
And the only reason I got these free tickets was, I'm friends with this gentleman. He got these free tickets from another source, and it was preseason, right? Like,
all right.
I haven't been invited to an Philadelphia Eagles game, ever for free. I am invited pretty frequently to see the Phillies play for free. Now, they have 100 games a year, so it's different, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so
he's just piddling around. Mercurius, go ahead and throw that up there. Our old friend, Mr. Constant himself, gifted 1 membership.
Mucho
Mercurius, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Good to see you here, my friend. Good to see you.
this gentleman invited me. We went to the game, and Scott Garibay is a good hang. All right. So the guy was like, hey, man, this is a lot.
I believe that.
I can see that.
I can see that. He'd be fun just to listen to. You know, I mean, you just have to do a lot of listening and probably not a lot of talking for Scott, but I'd be tempted to want to record everything.
Right.
I guess you'd have to do it with your memory, all the weird, but I could
or just bust out a notebook. Hold on, let me.
Yeah. Okay.
For safekeeping.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Would you like to come over and watch the games this season? Right now, I felt a little bit guilty, because this gentleman knows me from an institution that I'm connected with, and he doesn't know.
Like a mental institution?
I was going to say, what an institution I'm connected with. What does that mean? Arkham Institution. There were some pretty good mental institutions around Philly, wasn't there?
That's a question for Stern.
Yeah.
Where was Polk at? That was in Pennsylvania, right?
Was Polk, or was that in New York?
Infamous.
Yeah, maybe it was in PA. An institution I'm connected with. Whoa, doctor.
He doesn't know how I'm connected to Dungeons & Dragons. He doesn't even know. He's never played Dungeons & Dragons. He doesn't know the Scott Garibay right? Like he thinks I'm a regular Joe, which I am not. Right?
He's got a double life. Garibay's kind of in the closet. He's in the gaming closet with this guy.
Whoa, check this out.
Interesting.
Hold on a second here. We got something.
Oh, shameless. You guys are shameless.
Little mouse.
Like I'm a wizard. You're a wizard, Harry. I'm not a muggle. This guy is a straight muggle, right? Like watches football, and I just and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm in, because the guy is very nice. And I also knew he had invited us over after the preseason game, and we ate pizza after the game, and he showed his den that he watches in. Unbelievable. 70-inch screen, snacks, drinks. It's really nice. It's a nice event, right? Because the reality is, I don't like American football. I don't care. Actually, I don't care about American professional football, right? I am aware of it as a cultural event, right? So let's get into this. I got a lot to say about American gridiron football.
Good night, artistically.
Take care, AA. Yep.
Before he goes,
subscribe.
Hit up, like, and subscribe on his channel.
Check his videos out.
Yeah.
They are honestly, they are quite cool.
Yeah. He's a very thoughtful dude.
Very thoughtful. Honestly, makes you think an awful lot.
Yep. I want to see him over 100, guys.
Philadelphia Eagles and Saquon Barkley. Let's get into it.
Saquon.
And Jalen Hurts. Listen, look at me using all these names. Right? So I do want to just say, me watching the Philadelphia Eagles with some of the local guys is very much like Ron Weasley's dad. Watching Muggles. What's going on here? What do you got?
What is
Tell
a
me
Muggle?
about a car.
A normal person who can't cast magic in Harry Potter.
Chomp Chomp wants to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, yeah.
What's an elevator? I'm like, okay, whatever. Right? But here's some lessons for every dungeon master from American Gridiron professional football. Let's get into it.
All right.
First of all, never punt. Never punt.
Okay.
Not sure I agree with that completely.
Now he's not a fan of football and American sports.
Well, he'll watch it.
Okay.
He's just not. He's not a fanatic.
Okay.
He's probably casually aware of it.
So he knows more than I don't know anything about. I enjoy watching the sports when I hang out with you guys after the show or on.
Yeah. But you're not. You would never seek it out on your own.
I would never tell someone you got to punt. I don't know.
Never punt.
You better punt. Well,
never punt.
Is it a small bat or a big bat for that? I don't know.
4th down and 25 from your own 15-yard line. Never punt. Never punt.
What is like all these? Okay, first of all, I should be coaching. I should be coaching the Philadelphia Eagles. The guy they got don't know nothing, right? First of all, never ever punt. Always run the ball on 4th down.
Okay.
It's going about as good as I thought. Rogan, for someone who doesn't, watch football all the time, that would be an awful thing to do if it was 4th and long to just run the football.
Hey,
I'd like to
certainly,
return
there you
this
go.
one.
That's an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah. Yep. I'd like to return this.
Okay. Now, how do I know this? Because the wisdom of Gary Gygax, right? That's adventure, right? If you're on the 45-yard line and you have 55 yards to go to get a touchdown, and you're on 4th and 12, you don't kick, right? You don't punt, right? You run the freaking ball always.
He was the reason they invented that saying. Like, if you're a coach and you start listening to the fans, pretty soon you're going to be sitting with the fans.
That's the truth.
Right? And the reason why is punting is for cowards, right? You're never going to slay a dragon if you're a coward, right? Like, and so that is a lesson.
All right, I take it back. Rogan, he is not a casual fan. He has never seen football before. This guy took him to a game. He would not be saying these kinds of things if he had any working knowledge of the NFL or football in general. Wayne Brack, $10, coming in strong. He's coming in heavy.
Yep.
Listening to Uncle June. Just wondering why I can join memberships on your channel for 99 cents a month, but the only option to gift is the $5 a month option. You feel like I'm dealing with Apple. I have no idea, Wayne. I will try to look into that. I'll admit, it's been a little while since I've monkeyed around with the tiered system for
we'll check on that after the show.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, in fact, I'm going to make a note of that right now.
We are all inclusive.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for even bringing it up.
And trust me,
you might
no,
not be the only person
it's
with that question.
It's not me trying to jam you up. In fact, this is the first I've heard of it.
But if you go out and get a Walmart gift card, then give me a call and give me the number.
Yeah. for gift levels. Thank you, Wayne.
Yep.
Muchas gracias.
We will definitely look at it.
All right. Where are we? Okay.
Lesson for every dungeon master, okay? We learned from Gary.
He had to probably get a new car from all the blood stains and shit like that all over, and all the dents from all the people he ran over.
All the people, deer, small dogs that
Five Guys French fries.
Drop chicken nuggets.
Met their end, yeah.
We never punt. We always go for the jugular of the dragon. We don't retreat. Right? It's just super lame.
This is the worst advice for football. Now it's the worst advice for D&D. This guy will lead you off a cliff.
Oh man, dude! If you're not ready to run, forget about it.
Oi.
Right. So I have watched 4 American Gridiron football games. Never punt, not figuratively or literally. Right. So first of all. If you're a American Gridiron professional coach out there, stop punting. You'll win every game, right? And the other thing is when you punt.
Well, that is the.
I understand it's called the gridiron, but why not just American football?
I don't know. We would just call it football.
Just call it football.
We would just call it football. Yeah. It's
I thought there was something he knew that I didn't.
He's busted knowledge of me, and Double D don't even.
Look, if you're. And I like that you don't hide the fact that you're a sport. You come right out and say, look, I don't watch this. But you can always, if you've been watching sports for any significant period of time, you can always tell when somebody's kind of bullshitting and don't know what they're talking about just by some of the terminology they use.
This is a good insight by Chris.
It's his day job's work vehicle, and he's using it for food run side. Ooh. Yeah. He'd have to account for the mileage, though, Chris. They do. I mean, if you're a dasher, like Crazymouse can attest to this, you're going to put on a shitload of miles.
You put on miles nonstop. Today I drove, I think, 85 just around the city.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to hide that from the accounting people.
And
They'd
he
be
just
like,
drives in circles a lot, so his would be up a little bit higher.
they'd be like, all right, Scott, give us the odometer reading, for your 3-month, period. To 15,000 miles. What?
That's like in that scene in Dumb and Dumber. You drove halfway around the country in
the wrong direction.
Yeah, from going around in circles, his tires are bald on the one side.
Yeah.
You are telling every player on your team, you suck. I don't believe in you. You're not going to get a touchdown on this run. Never communicate that you don't believe in your team. Same thing at the table, right? We always go for the dragon's jugular, right? We move forward as a team. We never retreat, ever. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic, please consider liking and subscribing and have a fetch millennium.
Oh, fetch millennium? Is that what he said?
Yeah, it kind of sounded like that, didn't it? A fetch millennium.
That was interesting. It's good to see him
It's
again.
awful advice.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Yeah, let's see if it pays. Let's see if it pays off. Yeah, if you're getting your ass kicked by a dragon, you should not fight to the death. You should seek to get out of there as fast as possible.
Don't punt.
Yeah, and if it's 4th and 18 at your own 30-yard line in the second quarter, yeah, you definitely should punt. Scott, we do love them, don't we?
Snake Oil says on a Gen Con trip, one of his friends was driving. He drove 3 hours in the wrong direction.
Oh, really? The rest of you guys slept?
Oh, that's awful.
Tell me you busted out the line from Dumb and Dumber.
Why is that the Gateway Arch?
Yeah.
Oh, and I was leaving with Gavin the one year after you guys left. I'm like, oh, I already let them go. So he was being the co-pilot. I'm like, all right, we'll head over here. He's telling me where to go. I'm like, dude, I've never driven by the zoo before. Oh, no, sorry. Keep going. I'm like, are you sure?
He did that to us going to Cedar Point one time. I'm like, this doesn't seem right. And then it was like 40 minutes in the wrong direction. I mean, in the wrong direction. Like this isn't right.
I'm so anal about that stuff. I take that stuff so seriously, man.
Back before there was like the things on your phone for it, my dad used it as a power move on my mom all the time. Like instead of him reading the map the night before, he would give it to my mom like as we're going 70 down some freaking highway. Cheryl, do I get off this exit? Mom, I don't know. Like, honey, I don't know how to read a map. Oh my God. Like Chevy Chase and Vacation and shit like that.
Yeah, doing a 180. Yeah. Mac Thompson, $5 Garibay. Here's my comment to you. Never, never, never step on the field.
Yeah,
You'll be injured. Just go back to soccer or field hockey or, whatever, dude. Thank you, Mac. We're coming up on Halloween. Ours is this Friday. Do you guys run like one-shots at Halloween? And even if it's not at Halloween, like do you do like horror one-shots occasionally? I've always said it's hard to maintain a horror campaign long term. It's a tough ask of everybody for a DM to kind of keep quote unquote scaring the players and for the players to kind of buy in and like treat it like a good horror game should. You can do that over the course of a session or two. But look, the dick jokes are just going to start to fly after a while, and pretty soon they're going to be laughing at your stuff. So I just don't think it works long term. So I'm just wondering what you guys use for your Halloween one shot. I know what I'm going to use, but I can't say right now. I'll reveal it next week.
You can go ahead and say, buddy.
Yeah. We were supposed to be heading towards Pittsburgh, and he took us to. Boy, how do you do that?
Holy moly!
Because he'd have had to go down 79.
To 90.
We know that path very well, Sean.
We're 79 and 90
we're centrally
in our city.
Yeah, we're centrally located between Cleveland, Buffalo, Pittsburgh. So yeah, we have pretty good knowledge of all three. Yeah,
so it sounds like he was.
Yeah, but you're in New York. It's like Like you literally cross the border into New York. Like,
welcome to New York.
Yeah, and then you have to pay a toll.
And once
you have to get a ticket.
The roads are horrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, Snake Oil said they were all sleeping. This
Yeah.
guy's like, I got it under control.
But boy, that's a guy you don't want watching your back, man. He might be a great. I'm not saying he's not a great guy otherwise. And look, it's the same in our group. There's some people like, all right, if we need somebody on point or somebody to stand watch overnight.
Gilligan. Tiki torches must stay lit.
Hulusi Magumba.
Yeah, Call of Cthulhu. I've run Trail of Cthulhu for a one shot. Sometimes that was okay. I'm kind of veering now back more towards the original, just because it has like percentage. The percentage system is just something that so many people can just grasp, and it works great for like a one shot.
OGG's keeping us up to date of what's going on. He'll be right back. He's on a beer run.
Oh, nice. Get the Walking Dead here. Walking Dead RPG, nice. He's got the Castles and Crusades logo for his avatar. I like.
Nice.
Tac says, I like sprinkling horror into my campaign for specific dungeons or places, but otherwise haven't really run a horror game. Yep, that's fair. Jeff from $5 Canadian, running 3.5 horror one-shot Friday based on Night of the Living Dead and Evil Dead. Excellent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Using monsters from the Sword and Sorcery line
last year
for some extra fun.
Correct?
What's that?
Last year we did The Thing.
Yeah, now I can say what we did last year, and Crazymouse is absolutely right. It was The Thing. And I used the Alien rules from Free League, which they have that stress dice mechanic, which...
And I didn't appreciate getting contaminated.
Yes, nobody did.
Yeah, I was. My jaw dropped when you told me that. I'm like, what?
I started it out just as like a sci-fi. Oh, you guys are on a planet, and they kind of didn't know what was happening. And then The Thing got its first victim, and I took him in the other room, just over there. And it was you, right, Rogan?
It was me.
Yeah, I was like, Rogan. I'm like, all right, listen. I was kind of relying on everybody to kind of understand and go along with it. I said, this is the thing. You are now a thing. And he was like, at first he looked at me like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, oh, okay.
I didn't understand what was going on when I got infected. So I was kind of like...
Yeah, so I think we had to kind of explain, maybe a little bit more.
That was a hell of a twist. I enjoyed that immensely.
Yeah, but it's like your only goal is to get other people alone and infect them, and that's it.
It worked on me. I walked right into it.
Yes.
I'll go with you.
Yeah. I think there was only like a couple left right at the end. I think it wasn't Lisa's character okay. And maybe Zolt. Maybe his was.
I think so.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah.
CERN's character didn't make it.
No. But it was fun. It's like, it's something, you throw them a curveball and, if you have a good group, they'll go with it. And, the system was good using that stress dice mechanic to kind of, the more things amped up, the more people started to panic and make dumb decisions. Yeah.
I like that system.
Yeah, we played at Con on the Cob. It's a look Free League. I like them, and I do like that mechanic. Dread Domain. I played Dread before. That's the game with the Jenga tower. Have you played that, Rogan?
Yeah, we played it
at Gen Con.
Right,
yeah.
at JW. That's when we had to present our badges in the lobby.
Yeah.
What? We're
Can't
not allowed to
believe-
game here. What?
Yeah, it's like, I wish I'd have punched that guy in the face. Ugh. Panic Station is a board game based on The Thing. Oh, nice. We have a card game based on The Thing. Can't remember what it's called.
Oh, we paid that.
Yeah, we paid it. We played it one year, and Rogan ended up winning, but he didn't realize he had won, so he's just.
I remember that game.
I just kept going.
He's just taking a victory lap. We're like, Rogan, you won 8 turns ago. Oh yeah, well, he just kind of played it off like, yeah,
that's what I meant.
Yeah, hey, what you gonna do? Max says Ravenloft. There is a lot of Ravenloft material. Our buddy Zolt, who he's the movie guy who's been on the channel before. He loves Ravenloft. In fact, he runs his own.
He runs a game.
Yeah, he runs his own for his own crew. He plays in ours, and then he runs that. So,
he a busy guy.
He a busy guy. He's a mailman too. He told us the funniest story about I said, do you have any crazy stories about like just being, in the mail delivery service, being a mailman? And without pausing, he said, oh yeah, there was this one guy a few years back. I guess this is before everything was kind of like automated and you had to scan everything. So this is more than a few years back. It was probably a couple decades back. But what he would do is he would get his mail set for the day, and then he would go home and do other things. And then he would deliver his mail at 3 a.m. in the middle of the night.
That's awesome.
I mean, it was, if you think about it, he was very ambitious, and I liked the way he thought, but it turns out some people don't like having people like tromp up their steps at 3 a.m. They think it might be a burglar or worse. So that, I guess that stopped after a couple weeks, but give the man credit. He was thinking outside the box, as they say. All right. Let's go back here.
Did you do that?
Nope. That's if you don't. Remember, you have to hit it twice, or
Oh,
it'll make it go dark, or otherwise it's fine. It's fine. 'Tis fine. Yeah. So it's Halloween season. We're looking forward to ours Friday. I'm sure. I'll give a full report on it next week, and I'll have a special costume next week.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah. I think you guys are gonna love it.
Swoon.
All right. Do you guys want to learn about bastions or watch a Bob the Builder video?
Bob.
I'll go with Bob.
All right.
Krugus, we took care of that. I just took care of that.
Oh, was there a troll in there?
Yeah. Tefaric.
You slayed him like Tefaric?
Yep. I did the right one too, Surly. Got nothing to worry about.
Was it a porn bot or?
It was just some troll.
All right. Well, it's okay.
So I got this offer from D&D for a free copy, actually 2 free copies of the new 2024 Dungeon Master's Guide. But I said, no thank you. And reason number 5 might surprise you, because this is not about hating on D&D or Wizard of the Coast, nor is it about shilling for them. Not sponsored.
He looks
Imagine
like
that.
he's putting on weight, but in a good way.
Well, he needs to put on a little weight.
I know. And I think he has.
His hair's starting to get long again.
Yeah.
Good.
I liked him with short hair. I thought he was kind of cleaning up his act a little. I still like his videos. I think he's a great YouTuber. I don't agree with everything he says.
I did the right button this time. You got nothing to worry about.
We had a surly wellness check. All right.
Nuance. They didn't pay me. They didn't send me anything. That's the point. This is just about the new DMG and why I didn't even accept a free copy, which does sound really negative, but I promise it all circles back to fun. Because I'm Bob, this is where we learn how to have more fun playing RPGs together. And first, yes, keen-eyed viewers, I intentionally titled this video in direct contrast to my creator pals, Ginny D and Pointy Hat, who both got the new DM's guide and asked, is it better? But that's definitely not hate either. That's just an algorithm thing.
Man, I wish I was a shill. I'd be getting a free DM's guide. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Let me go kick some rocks.
5-finger discount up at Barnes & Noble.
I keep waiting for an online friend to send me a PDF of this.
We have that new gaming store inside our mall.
Yeah. I haven't not been in it yet. Although I'm going to go up and get a new pair of jeans. Once I hit my target weight.
Where do you go to get your jeans?
If I'm getting I like those like nice soft ones, so I would go to Express.
Mm-hmm.
I have like an Old Navy pair, just kind of like for fooling about, as they say.
I was just
fooling about.
But their videos were super helpful, so go watch them. Go subscribe to them. Go. You know what? I'm going. I'm going.
See, look, in his avatar,
man,
his
it would have been
face
really
looks
cool if I
skinnier.
actually planned
He's
that
filling out
and
a
then
little.
entered like some sort of collaboration.
Let's be fair here. He's still a slight man.
Yeah,
he's not.
I still would like to have.
He's not going to have the squared shoulders of Double D.
I want some pizza with this guy.
I'd love to meet. You know what? The thing is, we could have met Bob this year. He was there at Gen Con. I just never saw him. Patrick Demo, $2. Pointy Hat, I am so sick of being mistaken for him. Yeah, that's the that was the name of Patrick's company. And there's a YouTuber with a very similar, goes by a very similar moniker. So he gets everybody at like all these conventions coming up to him like, hey, you're so-and-so from YouTube. And he's like, no, you can find me on Double D's boards, but no, that's not me. And it's I think it's like a pretty big YouTuber too.
With one of them or both of them, but I don't plan that far ahead. Okay, reason number 0, because this one is extremely unique to my situation, but worth mentioning. I have a free press account on D&D Beyond that just lets me see everything. So if I do decide
Where's my free press account?
What?
I just get to see everything.
I get some free fries from Chick-fil-A every now and again, but I don't get stuff like this.
Their fries are good though.
Yeah.
Membership has its privileges, as they used to say.
Oh, did he pay for that?
I don't think so.
Pay for it.
As Clint would say, there's 2 kinds of people in the world: those that get invited to D&D headquarters, and those that don't.
day to look at the 2024 DMG, I can. It's similar to like going to a bookstore and flipping through it, or borrowing it from a friend, but just digitally, so more convenient. And digitally is a key detail, because reason number 1, I don't want to own a ton of physical RPG books. Said the hypocrite sitting next to a shelf of RPG books. Yeah, my minimalist brain only wants to own physical
things.
things.
Flex right there. He just flexed.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, he's all right. Get those concentration curls going, Bob. It'll help. It'll help. I tell you what. I don't like Ginny D, but I respect her hustle, her grind, and she's a good YouTuber. I kind of like Bob, except that he has this little bit of wokeness in him, but he's not horrible about it. But still, he's got it. But like other than that, like he seems like a pretty nice guy. I don't know.
Things that I will use regularly or have some powerful sentimental attachment to, but I share this collection with my wonderful gamer wife, who does not have that limitation.
Whoa!
All right.
Grace! Told you, she's a
guy
cutie.
Talk about a guy who outkicked his coverage. Holy cow.
Bob. Doing good for yourself.
Yeah.
How much was she?
Hey, boo.
Again.
Cut his mic. Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
That guy with the broom from the Apollo.
I was just kidding.
Though we are committed to not expanding beyond this bookcase, and we agreed that the new Dungeon Master's Guide doesn't really have a place here. Partly because, number 2, not to brag or anything, but as a game master, I already feel like I know what I'm doing. You bring the energy, tailor the game to your players and their characters, leave plenty of room for their choices to affect the game world. Do your best to make sure everyone is having fun. If you do those
See, that's a good sequence. People, you can short shrift it all you want, but that's a good little sequence there. He knows how to put together a point, and he makes it. Bob, I like you.
Things you can run any game, and don't get me wrong, I am constantly learning new fun tips to bring into my games.
Is she really 4'6", Cal?
But one of the greatest lessons I've learned is that it is way more fun for me to learn by doing, by playing.
Hobbits really are extraordinary people.
And making mistakes and just saying.
He still outkicked his car. I don't care if she is on.
Probably could have been more fun if we did it like this. And then the next time you play, try that, learn from it. In fact, if I'm going to read about running games, I prefer to read rules from a variety of games.
One thing he likes that I like too are box sets. He's like a big box set guy. There's a lot of them. I see a lot that I have too. The One Ring, that was a good one. I picked that one up at Gen Con.
Because they can bring entirely new ideas to my table. And so, reason number 3, and this one applies not just to me, but really to anyone, there are seemingly few new ideas in the new Dungeon Master's Guide. Okay, they added Session 0 guidelines. That definitely belongs in the core rules. But it's probably quite similar to the Session 0 guidelines from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, right? Or
that
similar to the countless...
looks like something from, like, Kill Bill. Like, that's the Kill Bill colors, isn't it?
Black and yellow?
What did I say, black and white?
Yeah, black and yellow. Yeah. I don't know what those are. Those might just be... Those could just be like notebook holders or something. They don't look like books, do they?
Just first thing I thought of when I saw that color scheme was Kill Bill.
Yep.
Oh yeah. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
Did Kill
that was
Bill
that was the
did
motif.
Kill Bill have a game?
I don't think so. No, there's never been any official like Tarantino. Huh. Chat, get your magnifying glass out. Play Sherlock Holmes. Tell us what that yellow thing is behind his left shoulder.
Free guidelines and safety tools available online, because most of the people who create those tools do just give them away for free. Well, they've added some actual tips and tools for preparing a game session, and tight little half-page adventure prompts. Yes, that sort of stuff is great for new game masters and also belongs in the core rules. And while there are countless similar free resources online, it is way more convenient for the new game master to have it all compiled into one single
Flotation device.
If I was a rich man.
If I were a rich man. Yeah, Andrew Thomas, $4.99. You guys can meet Bob at DaveCon in April. Is he going to DaveCon? Okay. If all goes well, you can play a Mystic Days version of Slave Pits of the Undercity. I think that would be epic. Yeah. I would sit at a table with Bob, either playing or him running it or me running him.
I bet it would be fun.
Yeah. If I'd have seen him, I'd have gone over and said, "Hey, we're fans."
Yeah.
And he might have said, like, "Get out of here," whatever. I can't see him doing that, but
I can't see him doing that either.
Yeah, because look, we've made some juvenile comments, but I think overall it's pretty clear we kind of like him.
Yeah.
Look, we generally kind of like everybody. The only one we don't like is that actual Jake.
Is that the potato guy?
Corn guy.
Corn boy.
Corn guy. Yeah. Like Ginny, I don't particularly like Ginny. But I don't hate her. Like she hates white guys, but.
So, if only that one resource was much more concisely written and costs less than half the price, foreshadowing my fifth and final reason for why the new DMG is fine but not perfect for new game masters. Updated
like
rules
this.
for challenge rating and encounter balance. But if you watch this channel regularly, you may agree that the very concept of encounter balance is kind of a red herring. Just let your world be real and unfold. And I tell you what, the new Dungeon Master's Guide does not include a collection of over 4,000 professional RPG maps for only $5. That's our awesome sponsor, Chepeku, with classic locations like a blacksmithy and a thieves guild, or even a train station, observatory, elder brain lair, infernal contract office, royal court, hanging gardens, and more. Like animated maps at higher tiers.
Yeah.
These gorgeous maps work on every major version of tabletop, with new maps coming out every week.
Can I get some of that sweet Chepeku money?
Patreon through the link below. Okay, and the new DMG has Bastion rules for home bases that look pretty cool. In my opinion, this is the first genuinely new thing added to the book, and it feels really out of place. It is the player who builds and customizes their own Bastion and would need to read through all these options when doing so. If you're a forever GM, this is completely useless in your GM rulebook. Why isn't this in the player's handbook? And for my own purpose,
it's a good point. I mean, I think he makes it here, but I mean, some of this stuff should have been in the player's handbook. Like if you guys are players and there's rules about building a base of operation, as they call it, a bastion.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want that in the player's handbook instead of the DM's guide? Or maybe, just maybe, they want you guys to buy both books too. Your poor DM gets stuck buying both, but man, now they want the players to buy them both too.
I already wrote my own 5e rules for bases and businesses, so I'm good. But years before I did that, in my first campaign as a player, my GM let our party build and own a tavern. We did a bunch of crunchy calculations to find out how much money should go into it and what we might earn on a monthly basis, but we did all that crunch completely on our own volition of what felt fun at that specific time with that specific group, and rules meant for everyone just probably wouldn't have been as fun for us. Maybe it would have been a good baseline, Hard to say. Finally, the other two truly new things are a lore glossary, which is
Chris
super
Perkins,
cool
yeah.
if you want to study the canon of D&D, so you can actually Reddit users,
He got
and rules
booted
for
up.
travel that I have
He got
not seen
promoted
at all
up.
yet,
He
but I
failed
already made
upwards.
and published my own travel rules too. However, this brings us to reason number 4. Why are these rules in a separate book? Now you
Good freaking question. That is something, because he does point out, like, every other game system that doesn't like try to emulate D&D, like they put all the rules in like one big thick like rule book. Like Greg Gillespie Dragon Slayer, that's self-contained, and that even is like a D&D clone. But why? I mean, I think it's just tradition at this point. Oh, the players need a book and the DM needs, well, 2 books. But it really is just a way to sell you an extra book. I mean, it would be better to charge a little bit more for one book and just everybody's going off the same information.
could take a bad faith interpretation of what I just said about player content not belonging in the GM book, but obviously the best version of this is what almost every other D20 fantasy RPG does. Publish one core rulebook and then maybe a separate bestiary with extra monsters. Like especially in D&D, where most of the rules are for combat, it is weird to put the encounter balance rules behind a second paywall and almost 400 more pages, making...
Well, it's not weird, it's business. I mean...
It's not business, it's bidness.
It's not even business, it's bidness. Yeah, I mean, look, I can see why they do it. Just, hey, they get over. You guys will pay for it. It's shameless with that mouse. We're not doing it for the money. We're doing it for a shitload of money, yes.
It's so much less
Love that
accessible for your game's most loyal GMs who do want to follow all those rules. Not
Frank
to
got his
mention the
Dragon
brand
Bane
new
box
Dungeon
set.
Masters
Love that box
rightfully
set.
intimidated
They
by
make
the
the
cost
best.
and the page count. Surely we have a better resource for.
Is the DM's guide the last one to come out?
No, the Monster Manual will be.
Okay, and that's after the new year, correct?
Yeah, because they want to spread it out over 3 different
See,
quarters.
we don't want you to have it for Christmas.
Yeah, that would be 2.
Reminds me of Games Workshop.
Oh, they're getting very Games Workshop-y. Very much so. Very much so. Nobody has answered what the yellow things are.
He's
Have
about
they?
to.
Oh, he's not going to say that.
Reason number 5 that I'm not into this DMG, and the reason that a new game master should at least wait on this book. Give it exactly 1 year until fall 2025, when the very best and most useful, practical tips and tools and guidelines from all 3 2024 core rulebooks will be compiled, summarized, made easier to read and digest, and less expensive in the new D&D starter set. This is how I'm not hating on D&D or Wizards, nor am I sponsored. I just know from experience that the box sets are the best D&D products for beginners and the best D&D products for me. I'm also waiting to try Tales of the Valiant 5e until their box set comes out for the same reason. I just like those low levels, man. And then after...
He loves the low levels. Yep, he's our kind of guy. Yeah, I don't know.
Did he run a game at Gen Con, or he was just there?
Oh, I'm sure he ran a game.
Yeah.
It was probably private, though. I couldn't see him. Like, Ginny D had a booth.
You had to pay. Like, you had to pay money to paint with her. I think I sent you that link.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you guys were there.
I tell you what, she must have put a hex on us, because we probably walked by her damn table half a dozen times, and I don't ever remember seeing it.
No.
And it was over by... We're kind of in the, I don't want to say exactly where Patrick was, but it was close to Patrick's booth. And I still couldn't see her. I somehow found James Raggy, but this chick had a line like around the block apparently the whole time, because there's no shortage of simps, and we still couldn't. Yeah. I guess we still didn't. Maybe it's just because we're programmed to like bust through lines and just get out of my way, and I don't even want to see where this line is going.
I am like them, they're like me.
Yeah, I am like them, they are like me. Oh, God.
After the new GM reads that streamlined, more affordable guide that includes dice and other helpful accessories, then if they decide that a 400-page textbook is the next step in their RPG journey, so be it. But the real message here is that you don't need any of this stuff. to have fun playing an RPG.
True.
To quote
It is
D&D co-creator Gary Gygax from the 1979 Dungeon Master's Guide, being a true DM requires cleverness and imagination which no set of rules books can bestow. Yeah, he wrote rules books. Besides, if you just want the new DMG for magic items or something, you can get almost all the exact same magic items, literally 250 official D&D 5e magic items in the free 2014 basic rules on D&D Beyond. You don't even need an account.
I do love how like Wizards of the Coast bends over backwards to satisfy him. And he's always saying like, wait, guys, you don't even need this book. Like, wait a year.
Like some of the,
I love it. Just don't get me wrong.
Some of the books that came out that were like, you didn't need him to play the game. Like, I like Ditties and Demigods. I like Traps and Treachery. I like some of the feats that they had and stuff like that.
Quintessential fighter.
The quintessential, oh God, the old quintessential books. Mongoose's Shame. Still, I'd do anything to go back to that time, because even though it was a departure from what D&D was, it was still fun.
It was a lot of fun.
And there's just so much like stuff out, because it's hard for, like, a lot of people don't realize, like, before it was like D&D, whatever they released officially was basically what you got. And yeah, there were like side things like Judges Guild and stuff like that. But I mean, that was always like kind of buried at your local friendly shop. And then all of a sudden, like the third edition, this explosion of like new material and, and adventures. Say what you want about Ryan Dancy, and he's a bit of a pud, but man, that open gaming license was it was like a revelation.
Brilliant.
Yep, absolutely. I think this is almost done. I do love how Bob he's not afraid to tell them, like, yeah, you don't need any, to buy anything of theirs. And they keep giving him like free access, free DMs guides, trips up to Seattle.
Yeah, that was the one I liked the most.
And if you're just trying to get started with D&D 2024, check out this video on your screen about the free 2024 rules on D&D Beyond. Then if you found any of this non-review helpful, please give it a thumbs up and give thanks to the Bob World Builder patrons who make all of this possible. Thank you, and keep building.
You love them. Make sure you're subscribed, Bob, the World Builder.
He's just so upbeat.
Yeah.
Well, have you seen Grace?
Yes, he's got reason to be upbeat now.
You know what's something that would be interesting to me? I would like to see a couple of things. How long have they been together? And then a picture of Bob when they met and a picture of Grace when they met.
Oh man, they met. He's not that old. He can't be that old.
But were they childhood friends? Like, I just want a little more information.
Yeah. Last question of the stream, guys. What's your favorite moment of the lair? This is one Crazymouse came up with. I said, let's start throwing some questions out.
We got about 2 years in now, right? Out a year and a half of material. We started, not last summer, but the summer before.
Yeah. Wow. The thing that I always, for me, and every event you guys are going to say, I'm going to say yeah, and that too. But the thing that I think kind of like set us off, set the wheels in motion, that this could be a pretty good active live stream, was the first EFAP of the Shanna and Monty video.
Yes.
Because it was kind of unexpected, and we were just kind of going through it, and her craziness about, people being cut off halfway through the lean, and Monty just looking perplexed as
this is
as a
off
guy
the rails.
could, yeah,
Right.
he's just trying to, but of course, can't, say anything untoward towards Shanna on stream. To me, that was just like, man, that was like a home run.
It was.
We got a couple
so
in there
fun.
already. Talking about Birthright with Black Lodge.
Yes. Yeah, that was actually on their channel. But yeah, I'm always happy to do that. And those guys, it was great. And by the way, guys, I hope you're following Black Lodge. They are coming out with something. They'll be coming out with something. Stay tuned to their channel. They got their next product already.
One for you.
Yep. I liked your advice to DMs running at Gen Con. Yeah. I mean, I'm happy to share. You guys are free to listen. The the world of DM advice is pretty crowded. So I would say, though, I mean, I do have 30 years. I mean, I probably have learned a couple things at least about what can work and what doesn't. Rogan getting his head caved in by a statue next to his best friend and a large-chested bimbo. Yes, talking about Otto and the dearly departed Roland.
Yes.
Yeah, that was sad. That was sad. You were in a hospital when we gave me a prayer shout out. Yeah, when you needed. Yeah, I always remember that. Yeah, with I hope your wife is doing okay. Yep. Thank you, Nixit. The refrigerator mermaid.
Yes.
Yeah,
snake oil.
The redhead whale. All right, remind me. We gotta. He speaketh. He gets what he wants. We'll leave when we do leave tonight. We'll put what's her name washing the car.
Shirley likes the live play.
Yeah, it's kind of grown on us a little. It just kind of started out as like, hey, let's just do something at the end, a little bit of this, and the one thing I have to apologize, and I'm terrible about, is not putting a playlist together. But I mean, the thing is, you could just go to every live stream and just work backwards. It's always at the end. Other than that very first one, other than that, it's always been at the end. Because we learned that pretty quick. Like, okay, there's going to be people who just want to nope out. You don't want to ruin the rest of the show for them. So that's why it's always a kind of a special treat for the hardcores. Kind of like that old Spider-Man segment in the Electric Company. I always love that.
The one with the measles always gave me nightmares.
Yeah. Yep. Black Lodge. Let's get that up there. Yeah, they're ordering the proofs for the Oyster on Friday, and next Kickstarter for Cults of Zahak as its pre-launch page up. Yeah, you guys can be sure. We'll have the boys on when that is ready to go. Good to see you here.
Just like in school, repeat the question. It's right there. Mac, it's favorite lair moment of all time.
Yeah.
It's hard for me. I wouldn't be able to. Blaine Pardo's interview, I enjoyed. I mean, all the interviews I've enjoyed immensely. Blaine's, I enjoyed an awful lot. Talking about Weebles and Lenny and Squiggy.
Lenny and Squiggy, like we think, yeah. Hello. I liked the one that made me laugh. I used to go home and rewatch some of the stuff to learn, how I can do better and something for the show and how we can make it better. So the one that made me chuckle, and Mrs. Mouse was like, "What the hell are you doing?" was Snooky and the Seven Dwarfs.
Snooky White. I think I made I went to the AI and I'm like, show me Snooky White and the Seven Dwarfs. No, it wasn't the Seven Dwarfs. It was the Seven Guidos.
Seven Guidos, yes.
Snooky White and the Seven Guidos.
The Weebles. And I convinced her that we had Weeble Wobble money come in.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yep.
When that Weeble Wobble money comes rolling in, I can pay that electric bill tomorrow.
Patrick says, Shanna, you and me both, buddy. You and me both. So disappointed she wasn't at Gen Con.
That's fair, Mac. I didn't mean to call you out like that. He said he's watching on a tiny screen. He can't read that.
Oh, yep.
I hear you.
Favorite layer.
It blends in his camo, too.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm probably wearing the exact wrong thing for this. But, I was like black doesn't work. White kind of disappeared a little bit, too. Maybe I'll go back to white, though. We shall see.
Gary Busey as a temple bad guy.
Who was our other villain? Was it Christopher Lee?
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Lee, yeah. The chat, I think, chose Gary Busey, though. I chose Christopher Lee. They chose...
they did. Yep.
Gary Busey.
Favorite interview was Rob Kuntz.
Yeah. That's probably my highlight. I loved being able to get... I just started to kind of what do I have to lose? So I asked, I think one of the first ones was Sandy Peterson, as far as kind of like the legends. And to my surprise, he's like, yep, I'll do it. And Rob Kuntz, I mean, like I said, that's, he was there for everything. Good dude. Blaine Pardo too. Blaine Pardo is a good dude.
Got a vote for Mousecock. That's weird.
It's not one of my favorites,
Yeah,
bud.
that wasn't one of my favorites. I had to give up some time to go to
You had to go to
class at the
training,
community
yeah.
college for that one.
But you did get a
Some guy invading my channel and
it's
you know,
hilarious.
running my mortal enemy, Money Matt. I'm running his garbage Kickstarters on my channel. No,
See,
thank you.
I'm pressing a button and nothing happens.
Yep, no, thank you.
I pressed something on Stream Deck and nothing happens. Not sure.
Oh, I know why. I know why.
Clear out of here!
Now they're playing all at once. That was not you guys. You are clear. That is all Double D.
That was a verify, not modify.
Yeah.
On guard.
There you go.
That one cracks me up.
Shark likes the holy diver. That was fun to do. That was.
Yeah.
I really wanted to do something. I'm like, well, how can I get my friends involved? You know, and they were kind enough to give up some time, and I'm like, oh, let's just do something. I learned a lot doing that. Like as far as like filming shit and like green screening stuff and like scripting. You know, like the way, not so much like the dialogue, but like your actions and all that stuff. It was fun.
Harmony Ginger says snake oil.
That was a good interview.
We learned about the wah-wah.
Yeah. The wah-wah. Yep. Yeah, hopefully she's okay down there in Florida. I don't think they got hit too hard. All right. I'll tell you what, it is 9. Why don't we quit while we're ahead and we'll do a little live play.
All right.
Travis says he enjoys the live plays.
Thank you.
We got another Sandy.
Glad you guys enjoy it.
Another Sandy Peterson.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Sandy's. He was a good interview. I'd like to have him back on, but I'd like to do it after he gets his Kickstarters like all filled, because there were some people who were pissed who like supported him, and I kind of didn't know that when I asked like that he had some unfulfilled stuff. So it's not like it cast a pall over everything, but I could tell some people were still a little raw. That essentially he just kind of ran out of money and couldn't fulfill some Kickstarters. So
Chris, I have a question. Is this the newest issue, the number 7? Rob Kuntz is in, Mad Scribe in number 7?
I would guess, yeah. Oh, Mike Pondsmith, yeah, that would be a good get. Got a Playboy model in the next issue.
That sounds like number 8.
Are you going like PG-13 on that, Chris? I mean, is there going to be as the old like warning would say, like brief nudity? That always meant like a little bit of TITTY.
He said yes, but that's probably for the number 7 question.
Yeah, I was going to say
that
might not be for the TITTY. Yeah. Playboy model, nice. I wonder if they would allow him to keep selling. Yeah, maybe he doesn't want to say. Maybe he doesn't want to spoil it or jinx it.
Okay, all right. I remember back in my day, Kathy Shower was a Playboy model. Like a Miss, like Miss November or whatever, or something like that. But because remember there was a stretch on Dancing with the Stars, and it went like Brooke Burke was like the hostess.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Well, she was in Playboy. There was a stretch where on Dancing with the Stars, like everybody on that show was in Playboy at one point.
The thing is now everybody's goes naked. I mean, you'll see people on oh, there you go, Griffin Maria. Now everybody's gonna be looking her up, and they're gonna see her naked.
Well, check out her OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's just it. Everybody's got an OnlyFans now. It's like you see even
everybody's
YouTubers.
got a gun.
Yeah, everybody's got a gun. Even like these YouTubers, you'll see like a good looking like all these golf girls. They've all got like
and they all have an OnlyFans.
They all have OnlyFans. It's like some of it's a little disappointing, I gotta say.
Chris said that she's also a cosplayer. There you go.
That's probably why she's in
Mad Scribe.
your book. Have you ever reached out to Marie Claude Bourbonnais, Chris? She'd probably want money though. She looks pretty like she would want some money, but she used to always be at Gen Con, and I know she's on Twitter. But I guess in a way it would be free advertising for
follow
her.
her.
I do too. Yeah. Yeah, she's still holding up.
Oh yeah.
Still holding up.
We know an OnlyFans girl. She, is from our.
She's a
kind
cute
of
face,
past.
but
right.
she's not.
She would fulfill a fetish, right?
Yeah,
would that be fair to say?
I would think so. Yeah. Jeez. nice girl. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, but plus it's like you don't know who's doing it now.
Agreed.
Like you could. I mean, they could be the last person you expect. Chris Miller, come on now. I don't think you're Commander McBragg or anything, but good Lord, this guy does he has lived a life. Used to work for Playboy back in the 90s.
I used to have a subscription to it. When I worked at a law firm, this guy came in and he didn't like the magazines that were offered in the law firm, so he just ordered a bunch of magazines for the office. And then I was not an office manager by any means, but I helped him facilitate this stuff. But anyway, he's like, "Do you want a couple of subscriptions for yourself?" And I was like, not sent here. No, I'm good. You're doing enough. He's like, "No, for your house." So I got Maxim and Playboy. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "No problem." And he signed me up, and I had him for maybe 3 years. You know how you can get a subscription.
I remember whenever there'd be a good issue, you'd always bring it over to me.
Yeah.
It's probably one up in my, for all I know, tucked away in my bookshelf.
That's when Gavin, who probably would deny it now, but he was extremely into, at the time, Kim Kardashian. And he had me bring the Kim Kardashian one. Oh, I just was curious, blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
blah,
yeah.
blah. Yeah.
You like fat. Yeah, Chris used to run their tables. That makes sense.
That is cool.
Tables and signings at cons, yeah. But I saw a lot. Did you ever go into the jacuzzi, Chris? Did you ever get invited back to the mansion? The grotto?
Yeah, the grotto.
Those are good times, though. I mean, there's better times when you had to work for that stuff and not just I see this person, then you type it in and
there it is.
Just so cheap. So cheap.
How do you have a relationship with a woman that does that? I mean, hey, I'm old, but that I just can't
ask actual Jake Corn Boy.
I just think that that discovery of getting to know them, mentally, emotionally, and even eventually physically, that's a pretty important thing. But now, hey, I think you're pretty cool. I want to go out sometime. Well, here's a subscription to my OnlyFans. Like, huh?
Yep.
I don't know. I kind of wanted to wait till the third date to see.
It's gonna be going back to church, honestly. And you may plug your nose at it, but that's where you're gonna find women that aren't nasty hoes doing anything on camera for a little bit of money for a couple of $10 tips. See, fortunately, I only get dressed up like a cowboy for $10 tips. Yeah, ask Destiny. God, yeah, that guy.
Here's one for you.
Yeah, that's sad. It's
from
a
Mac.
sad thing, Mac. I think it's sad.
Look, it's not good for anybody. It's horrible for the woman, but it's terrible for the men too, who feel like, well, I'll develop a relationship with this this cam girl.
I was just listening to this the other day.
My blood runs cold. Yep, Angel's a centerfold. Yep.
I mean, there you go. There was some foreshadowing right there. Hell, back in the 80s.
Yeah, maybe it just kind of goes to show, every generation, you just kind of become more and more desensitized to, the newest thing. But we're going to reach a point pretty quick here where it's okay, now there's nothing left.
Yeah, guys don't want to date women anymore because women are crazy. Women want to be crazier and crazier in general.
There was a graphic novel by Paul Pope called 100, I think.
Yes.
100%, yeah. There it was it had gotten to the point where people wanted to see essentially what these women were digesting or something. You could actually see their insides at a certain point. It's probably we're gonna get there, where it's you've seen everything, you've just been totally desensitized. What's the next thing to virtually, kind of cut them open and like watch how their food gets digested, how they take a shit. I don't know.
I remember when two chicks in a cup was a big underground thing back in the day.
Can I make a confession?
Yeah.
I have managed to avoid that and have never seen that.
Me too. I know what it is. But
I know what it is. I've had it described in detail, and I'm like, good. Now I'm glad I've never seen it, and I never will. I never will. Yeah, that's for you poor people to deal with, to try to scrub your brain. I had to see a horse get put down at the track this week. Now that's
texted me that.
Yeah, that is not never a good thing. Poor animal. Busted its leg coming down the home stretch and put the old tarps up. But these tarps aren't big enough to cover a whole horse. And then when they put it down, the poor thing fell and you could just see it. I saw it fall, turned around and took a 15-minute walk through the casino. I'm like, ugh, yuck. Yeah, that'll put a damper on the gambling festivities. All right. Well, thank you guys very much. Those of you that are going to take off, don't like the live plays, or it's not your thing, we'll see you next week. I think I'm going to have a special costume. If I can get it ready, you're not going to want to miss it. Trust me.
Snake Oil says hit that like.
Yes.
Yep. Shark said that he saw a PTA mom of 3 kids fired because she's an OnlyFans. Yes. The kids at school found out. We're all laughing at her kids for their mom being an OnlyFans model.
Yeah.
There was that.
And I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad there's a little shame.
She was getting shamed by the host of doing the interview about, won't your kids feel sad about knowing their mom's an OnlyFans model? And her comeback was they can cry in their Ferrari. Because mom's making a lot of money.
Yeah, right. That tells you everything about that person's morality right there.
Yeah. Is that going to help them in therapy in a few years?
There was a girl. She was on my YouTube Shorts thing that she came across, and she's an OnlyFans girl. And just from her subscriptions or something like that, she makes like $800,000 a month. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness gracious. Chris Miller's out. Chris, have a good night.
Yep.
Mad Scribe Games number 7 is out right now.
Guys, the link is always in the descriptions.
Rob Kuntz is the interview this month.
It is a fantastic magazine. It really is.
Yep. I've contributed. I'm going to try to contribute again if Chris will have me. I'm just trying to think of something that he might want. I'd love to put something in there for him. For everybody. All right, guys. Well, we're going to go over to Otto and Roland. Sorry, I slept. I'm always going to slip a little. Otto and Rorik. And you'll see I have updated some stuff. Or Crazymouse was going to kill me.
About damn time.
That's right. All right. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We'll see a lot of you next week. And for everybody that's left, well...
There we go.
As they say, no matter where you go, there you are.
I had to change my appearance to go in disguise, so that's the new look.
Tell you what, I'll give him a little promo here so I can get changed real quick. All right. Sorry, I had to shed my skin, as Peter Gabriel once said. Oh, by the way, I picked this up. If you guys saw the stream Saturday, don't know if it was last Saturday or 2 Saturdays ago, but I'm as good as my word. I said I was going to pick up Wretched Interbellum, and I sure did from the Red Room. I got it off of their store on Lulu. So nice book, nice looking book. Like I said, you can obviously, you get the games you want, but see if you can support folks like Chris Miller, Red Room, all that stuff. Certainly Black Lodge, Pundit, Basic Expert. Everybody trying to get a little bit of a very crowded market. All right. Well, the boys and Aurora, and I guess at the time Soraya, made it back from the Free Cities, and they went to Civ, the port of Civ, back in Otto's
hometown,
his homeland of Fagland. Give you a little, give you a little cutaway view there. You can kind of see it down below. There's Civ. So, you are sitting on a lot of money. You said goodbye to Soraya.
Gave her some walking around cash, right?
Well, yeah. Well, she has her cut, right?
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
she has her cut of the treasure, and yeah, you guys kind of decided you have Aurora with you, and she's I think you had decided you want to go further inland to the Inner Empire, civilization, as they say, and you kind of started a I guess what'll just kind of be a slow journey towards it. You're not in any particular hurry,
No,
I guess.
we are not.
Yeah.
That is correct.
So if you can see the little "You Are Here" dot down there, I believe that is kind of where they're headed today. They crossed the river. They got a cart and a horse, or should we say, was it a two horse cart? Was it, or was it a one horse?
I don't think we said. We just made sure that it could fit the three of us up front, so possibly a 2-horse cart.
Yeah, it would probably be a 2-horse cart for that. So,
Surly, my grin is gone because my best friend died.
That's right. Yeah, we got a new picture. He's grown up. Our little Otto has grown up in the last year. It's been over a year, guys. There we go. All right, so there's like a coastal road, kind of like the Pacific Coast Highway, that kind of runs along that bottom coast there, and you were headed. The three of you, 3 new friends. You're actually seeing coastline, kind of. It kind of does look like this. Sometimes the road will take you down a little bit.
That's pretty.
Towards the water. Yeah, it is pretty. It gets a little cool at night. The wind whipping off of the sea. Get them cool breezes. Now, this road is not nearly as busy as the one that goes north-south up to like Carlsfell. This is going to take you all the way over to Mist Shore. But you got a little ways to go. Okay. So, you got to traverse, what you see on the map, and then another little section. And, before you get to Mist Shore. But it's going to mean you guys have a lot of time to get to know each other. Anything you particularly want to do during this time? There is some traffic. It's just not as pronounced.
No, just enjoy the ride right now.
Yeah.
I think I would like Rorik and Aurora to, I don't know, get chummier, if that's the right word.
You're kind of
They already are, but I like the fact that they're together. You know, I don't know. I don't know if together is the right word.
Yeah, works. Certainly attracted her, but she also has a
fiance.
Well, a fiance plus, you know,
she's trying to get rid of.
You know, kind of a reputation as well.
Now she doesn't have a strict reputation as a dirty old hoe.
Right.
She's just kind of like a party girl, but you're also not sure. Like she could be one of those party girls that just maybe has a bad reputation, but really doesn't do anything that bad, you know?
Right.
But she certainly, you know, lives like a crazy, crazy kind of life. All right. So you going to try to put the moves on her there?
I'm not going to put them. I will certainly, you know, engage in conversation with her. I'll ask her a lot of questions. You know, I'm not going to like put the moves, but you know.
Mm-hmm. Whenever you ask about her past, she does kind of defer it a little bit, you know, and says, "Oh, I've been a lot of places, seen a lot of
Johnny
things."
Cash. Arkansas, Rudabaugh.
Yeah, but she'll kind of turn it back towards you, you know, and say, "But tell me about you." And you know, she's a good conversationalist. You can understand why she is so charismatic, and men just kind of do fall for her.
It'd be hard not to fall.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, she does give you an in. She does say one terrible fiance aside, she's like, you'd be surprised at how many men, you know, are intimidated, you know, by me. And I don't understand why.
Oh.
Now's your chance.
I would say that I reaffirm that. I wouldn't know why as well. You are an amazing conversationalist. You're very interesting, and yeah, you're pretty freaking cute.
You want to come over here and make a charisma roll? You can roll it right in front of the right in front of the crew there. Start putting as much of this on. All right, this is if Aurora can get Aurora. Yeah, what's your charisma? All right, so you're not the most charismatic, so aim for right there.
8?
That's an 8.
That worked.
That's under.
That worked.
That's what you want. This is old school D&D. Well done.
Yeah.
Is there any like physical way you want to manifest this sort of thing? I'm not just saying like, you know, immediately, like, but like over time. You know,
yeah, you know, maybe get, you know, as we're kind of getting to know each other, get a little more touchy, and you know,
lean over with your tongue out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, just, you know, the bride's gonna be bumpy every now and then. Maybe go scoot a little closer to her and talk, and you know, just.
As you're talking to her and like the hair wisps, you just take the strand of hair and tuck it behind her ear.
Yes, stuff like that.
So you there's not much in the way of civilization here. There's a couple of there was like one inn that you passed that you figured like maybe it's better, you know, just to keep going. A couple of small little settlements and villages and you know, houses, you know, near the coast. You haven't seen like a proper village yet, though. And after about like 2 days of travel, she says early in the morning, you know, as you guys kind of, you know, break camp, you know, after that for the, you know, second day, she's like, "Oh, can I you know, I'm going to trust you not to peek, but can I go down to the water and you know, wash off?"
Yeah.
Yeah. So she almost immediately like disrobes, not completely, but like almost down to like her night clothes or small clothes. And yeah, Snake Oil Sean says, "Have you seen 100 Rifles?" There's that famous scene where she's showering as a diversion near a train. So she walks into the water, and let's just say it is a stunning sight.
Of course, I will peek.
Yep.
And of course, she knows it.
Yeah. You swear that, as she's like kind of doing this with her hair, she kind of turns slightly, sees you, maybe catches you peeking and smiles, and then just kind of turns her head and then continues on.
Uh-oh.
When she's done, she comes up, and still wet, but, she's like, I'm going to use that blanket to dry off, and then we can get underway.
In fact, I'll hold the blanket up and turn my head.
Yeah. She says, "Oh, you're ever the gentleman."
Sometimes.
All right, she's done. She looks fantastic, all cleaned up now too. And she's in the in the center. Otto, anything you wanna?
Nope.
All right. So as you go on, you can tell she's getting like a little bit closer to you, Rorik. She kind of leans in.
Yeah.
You can sense the signals.
It probably gets a little cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wind coming off the ocean there.
Yeah.
She's more than welcome to snuggle. I'm like, I'll do that. I won't put my arm back, but not around her. Kind of like allow her to lean, into the chest and not to the shoulder.
Yeah. She
I did not know that.
Neither did I. Yeah, she lets you, kind of pull her close, and she kind of does say like, "Ooh, I'm a little chilly." She's like, she kind of reaches back and gets a blanket, and she says, "Are you cold, Otto?"
Me personally, I'm good, thank you.
And she says, "Oh, okay. Well, let me know." And then she takes the blanket, and without even asking you, Rorik, she puts the blanket over both of you. So you have kind of like a blanket over both of you, and underneath, she puts her hand on top of yours, almost like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I did that by accident."
I'm okay.
All right.
Not worried about that.
You can see her. It's almost like she knows that she's being, courted, and she's loving every minute of it.
Oh man, yeah. Corny and cute is awesome. Not OnlyFans, but corny and cute.
Later in the day, like 3 p.m., you see someone in the middle of the road. This we'll call it the Southern Coast Highway. Up ahead, it's it looks like a smaller figure.
Walking to or
yeah, just kind of standing still, maybe like bent over, doing stuff. How dare you? He even put the mouse in it, so he knew it would get red. You guys are incorrigible. As you come up, you see a little kid, probably like 9 or 10, looking up at you from the road. He just kind of steps back a little bit, and he puts his hand up to wave.
Is there is it wide and open, or is there brush nearby or anything like that?
No, there's not really brush. It's kind of
like a big plain.
Yeah, for a little ways.
Well, I will.
For right now, because you can kind of see where you are here, kind of see how there's like nothing there. Yeah, it's kind of just a little bit bleak.
We'll slow down.
Yeah, he just kind of like, this kid waves at you, and he says, "Who are you?" Like a little kid. "Who are you?"
Who are you? What's a big, strong boy like yourself doing out here by himself?
He's like, "Oh, I'm Niall." He's like, "You don't have to stop." He's like, "You going that way? I'll walk."
You're just going which way?
Yeah, he's going the same direction you're going. He starts talking about he's trying to catch like animals. Trying to trap, be a hunter.
Do you need a ride?
He's like, oh, I don't know. He's like, you're strangers, I don't know if I should.
You're a stranger to us, so we don't even know if we should pick you up. But you're going the same direction, and it's going to get dark soon.
He's like, well, yeah, my mom said I should be coming home before dark. He's like, would you mind? Aurora's like, oh, of course not. Come up here. We got a blanket for you,
Rubble.
He's like, yeah, I'm Niall, She's like, oh, Niall, here. She kind of sets the blanket on his, on his lap. And she's like, offers him some water, that you guys have. And he's like, oh, no, I'll get that at home. He's like, our village is just a little ways up that way. As you, I guess, continue on, you notice something. So on kind of the shoreline, on a rocky, like jutting up a little bit on a little rise, looks like a mansion, like a house.
Oh.
Yeah. Has like a little road that goes up to it. There's like a wrought iron gate even, that you can kind of make out. Niall says, oh, see that place? That place is haunted.
Oh. And you live near here?
Yeah. I guess it's a mile down the road. You'll be able to see the fires coming up, soon.
What do you mean by haunted? I mean...
Oh, it's always been there. There's ghosts in there. Sometimes I hear voices. My mom says I can't go up there and play, but sometimes I've gone up. I've never gone inside. But, kids of Cal, come on now. Jeez, you guys. You're going to be staking this poor kid.
Well, he's only saying what I'm thinking.
Slit his throat.
Best to be sure. Nuke it from orbit. Yeah, he says, he's like, I've never gone inside, but I've gone around it. I can hear voices inside. It's definitely haunted. My mom says never to go inside, never even to go near it. You're not going to tell her that I told you that, right?
Oh, no, not at all.
And Aurora says, oh, no way, Master Niall. Your secrets are safe with us.
How old is he, ish?
9 or 10.
9 or 10.
9 or 10?
Yeah.
Just say, well, at your age right now, it's really good to listen to your mom.
He says, my mom's real nice, but I think she doesn't realize I'm a man now.
I got an armpit hair this long.
That makes Aurora kind of crack up, and he's like, "What are you laughing at?" And she's like, "Oh, nothing. I thought I saw a bird, crash into the water or something." But he seemed to take umbrage, like, oh, "I am a man." She asked, she's like, "Is there an inn or a tavern, in your village, young Niall?" And he says yes. She looks over at you, Otto, and says, "Well, do you think we have the budget for a nice warm bed?"
I think we do.
And with that, she says, she looks at you and says, "I presume you're okay with that?"
Absolutely.
She's like, "Well, looks like we're going to be around for at least a day, Master Niall. I presume there's good food to be had there." And he's like, "Oh yeah, there's seagull pie. It's fantastic." And there's other kinds of fish dishes too. There's also beaver stew.
Sounds delicious.
There's a little tributary that goes up to the main river, and occasionally they'll wash down. So it's like a rare treat, but I hear they have some.
They what? Well, okay.
Oh, dead, yeah. It's okay if you cook them.
Right.
Buzzard egg omelets.
Yeah. You're starting to be...
Damn.
Even Aurora is kind of looking at you like, oh boy. All right.
Maybe you should just drop
I feel like this is about to be a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Deliverance.
Dusk Till Dawn.
Surly says always carry a little holy water for testing purposes.
It's not bad.
He's either psychic or schizophrenic. All right, so you start, it's obviously, it was about like a mile and a half, so he was a little off. And it is just kind of starting to get night. And you do see like, the night fires of a small village ahead on the coast. And here there actually are, there is like some foliage here. There's some trees, not like a huge forest, but enough to, where there's probably some, some game, I guess, for lack of a better word. He says, oh yeah, the inn is right there. And you do see a tall, relatively speaking, just a 2-story building, rising over the others. The village is set a little bit back from the main road. Inland. There's beaver upriver, boys. And you can kind of see what he means, because you have to trundle over a small bridge, and there is, you do see like, because there is actually a little bit of woodland here. There is like some flotsam and jetsam in the water. Some debris, as it were. So who knows? Maybe there are beaver dams up high. He says, well, I'm going to go to the inn later, but I got to go check in with my mom. So he doesn't even say anything, just jumps down and, goes squirreling off to one of the houses in the village.
That scamp.
A lot of energy.
And we'll procure a couple rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this inn is not even named. There's no name on it.
Just the inn.
Yeah, it's the fact that it's 2 stories here probably signifies that it's an inn. You see the most weather-beaten dude you've ever seen, like behind the bodies. Looks like he has spent so much time, like on the water, in the water, around the water. Like he is like sun-beaten. Like his skin looks like leather.
Remember that scene in the one movie with Chris Pine, and it's the old time waitress. So what don't you want?
Yeah. It's a feeling
Either you
get.
don't want the green beans or you don't want the corn on the cob. T-bone steaks and baked potatoes. That's all we have, except for some asshole in 1987 that tried to order trout. We ain't got no goddamn trout. Two steaks, medium rare. I'd like mine medium well. That wasn't no question.
Damn.
Well, he looks at you and at first he kind of looks not suspiciously, but visitors, kind of a little surprised because there's literally nobody in here right now. And he sees Aurora though. It's almost like you can almost see he immediately kind of sucks in his gut. He's, probably a guy in his 50s. Sucks in the gut, kind of like does this with the hair. Says, oh, well, you can sit anywhere. I'll let you know what we're serving. Can I get you anything to drink?
3 ales.
Yeah.
All right. 3 ales it is. Aurora's looking around. She looks a little like, I don't want to say suspicious, but, she's reserving judgment. He puts the 3 ales down. He goes, I think you'll find my ales are the best. Go ahead, have a sip. Like he's like literally watching you.
I'll pick my mug up and take a sip.
Yeah, truth be told, it's watery.
And that's okay right now.
Coors Light.
Good, huh? He says.
Oh,
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, refreshing. Thank you.
He says, Miss, we have we have some brandy if you prefer. And she's like, oh no, this will do fine. She's like, and it's very good. And he says, well, we have fish stew. He's like, I caught some some decent sized fish today. They'd be fresh. He's like, and I did catch one big one if you want to share. He's putting his hands to, to show that it's a big fish. He's like, he says, the big one is pretty good eating, but I don't know if it'd fill you all up. You boys look like you're still growing.
Throw some bread in there and we'll be good.
Ah, so it is. Yes. Anything else? He's like, I'll throw in a couple other things. You'll like it.
Sounds. How many eyes do the fish have?
Be good, Thetan. The Dan. They've entered Lovecraft Country. Oh, come on now. All right, so yeah, you can hear him back there. He's the only one cooking. Looks like he's the only one here. You can hear him kind of whistling back there.
Nobody knows
the troubles I've seen. The door does open, and a couple of men, they look like fishermen,
right?
Come in.
We sit in a place where the door is. I'm facing the door.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. They come in. They lean over the bar. They mumble a name. You think it's Oren that they're talking to. That might be the innkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
He says, you cooking something up back there, Oren? He's like, oh, yeah. Big fish for the new fellas and that lovely lady.
Name. Oren.
Oren?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go. It's meant to be. He's like, you guys can help yourselves, of course. They walk behind the bar. They pour themselves a couple of ales. They sit down. And they sit in a nice spot where they can, quite frankly, ogle Aurora. But it's not too lascivious. Right. They're just kind of talking, but they're burning a hole in their back with their eyes.
Free.
Yep, that's right. She doesn't seem to mind. She's like, yeah, this place is a little cozy. Pretty soon he brings it out, nice and cooked, blackened. Gives you a couple of knives, to cut it, to pull it apart. He's like, you just watch for them bones, okay? Hate to have anybody choke. I haven't lost any customers yet.
I haven't killed anybody yet.
There's a couple of you're not sure what they like, rutabagas or something, like probably some vegetable that doesn't taste all that well, and there is a nice thing of bread there too.
All right. Thank them.
Yep. And then, just as you're kind of like, well, this is kind of awkward, as you're kind of like pulling the fish apart, which the fish, he was right. The fish is good. Then some other folks come. Okay. And, pretty soon the place is half full, and then, and within about an hour, as you guys are just finishing up eating, it's pretty much all full, the locals. And there's just the quiet din of conversation. People do see you and nod. Some people come over to the table. There's an older lady. And you can tell she looks very like matriarchal. And she says, well, travelers here. Taking the southern road, I see.
Yes, ma'am.
Stopping at our fair inn, I see. I heard you gave little Naya a ride, I see.
Yes. We did. Mm-hmm.
Well, I suppose you're okay, I see. And then she, there's some poor, skinny old guy, just who's probably just been beaten down over the years. Doesn't bother to say anything. He just kind of takes his seat at the table, and she says, well, we'll have to talk later. I'd love to hear your story.
Well, hopefully we'll be here for the night into the morning. We'd like to get a room.
Yeah, just then Oren stops by and, the table and says, oh, you'll be wanting a room.
Two. Two if you have them.
Yes, sir. 2 rooms it is. He's like, well, I only got 4, but you're just in luck. You know, no travelers on the road this whole week. So I'll give you the 2 best. Some people are coming over to you and say, where are you hailing from? Where are you going?
Civ is where we came from.
Oh, wow. Heading west. The place you would be heading towards, I guess, is Mist Shore, I guess. Yeah, that would be the closest kind of city. Oh, travelers,
Is this creepy at all, or is this,
maybe a little,
Okay.
but maybe it's just small town life,
Small town curiosity.
Yeah. The woman comes over after she's had a drink or two. And she says, so, did you pass the house? Do you know it's haunted?
We heard. We did pass it.
Well, I hope you didn't go up and try to go inside of it.
We did not.
On account of it's haunted. You should stay away from there.
We were warned.
Niall did a good job warning us.
Yeah. Just then you realize Niall is here with his mother and father. And he comes over and says, I want to introduce you to my mom. Mom, come here. These are the people I told you about. They're the travelers. And she comes over and says, oh, thank you, for, being nice to my son. I know he can be a little much.
No, he's quite helpful.
Who's Elliot Page?
That's the one that transitioned. It used to be Ellen Page. Used to be Ellen Page.
All right, well, we'll be changing that picture.
It does not. That is. It does not. Travis
I'm
is
not
just
sure
being.
I know who Elliot or Ellen Page was.
Yeah,
anyway.
no. Come on now. That is totally unfair, Travis. I demand you take that back because it's not true. Yeah, she just says, "Well, thank you, and I hope you enjoy your stay here tonight."
Thank you.
Yeah, Oren is just one of those guys that just kind of takes his time, delivers the food, delivers the drink at his own pace, and the people seem to be fine with it. So you're lucky you got here first, because some people have been waiting a while, but they don't seem to be too concerned. Some just help themselves, and that's fine. But yeah, you're getting a lot of small town people asking what your story is.
It would be really hard for us to have any kind of private. We really don't are in a position to have any secretive conversation. But if we were, it would be really difficult with all the eyes.
Yeah. The only thing you see is like a gangly 17-year-old probably kid comes over, and he says, hi, he says, ma'am, I just wanted to say, you sure do look pretty. Would you want to dance? And she's like kind of looks at you and looks at him and says, well, there's no music. It's like, oh, my friend can sing.
I'll say to Aurora, how is your foot doing, sweetheart? Is it still sore from the trip?
She's like, oh, I think it's okay. I think I can manage.
All
right. Well, she says, here I go.
Here goes.
Here goes nuts. He's got pimples on his face still, and he's like, go ahead, Tyrus, let her rip. And his friend starts to sing a ballad of the sea. You do notice though that everybody's just kind of watching.
Right.
Yeah, like Jamestown a little bit, a little bit.
The Watchers.
The Watchers. Yeah, it's just, it seems kind of weird. Everybody's just kind of got this smile on their face. Ooh, yeah, this is nice. The song ends, and he kind of takes her hand and kisses it, and she's like, oh, well, you really are very nice, young man. Thank you. And he's like, that was the best dance I had in my life. You're the prettiest woman I've ever seen who come through here. And she's like, oh yeah. She's like, well, I'll tell you what, when you grow up, maybe I'll come back through and, we'll have to meet again. He's like, do you mean that? Oh my God. I think I may be engaged to be married. he's on cloud nine, and she comes back to the table and says, well, I've done worse. I've had to do worse things in my life, but
when she comes back to the table, I'll stand up and get her chair for her.
Yeah. She says, thank
Making
you.
the show for everybody.
Yeah. So that dude is on, cloud nine. Him and his buddy are over there. His buddy actually was a fair singer. Wasn't too bad, actually.
He didn't rickroll, right? No.
No, he didn't. Yeah, no. Emo Otto.
I saw that.
Emo Otto. I like it. He's going to be hag maxing. Meat. Behave, meat. So, Arista is the old lady, the kind of bossy pants lady. She's like, well, how long are you going to be in the village for?
Just till tomorrow morning or tonight.
We got our bug out bags ready. She's like, oh, well, she was very nice to dance with him.
With Corky.
With Corky, yeah.
Scooter. I get it.
She's like, we'd be happy to have you in town, but I suppose you're going to be on your way. Travelers going to the biggest city. Well, isn't that so nice? And it's Aurora who actually says, like, what's the deal with that house? Why is it haunted? And she's like, oh, a lord of, days of past, days of yore. He used to live there. It used to be quite an estate. That was probably, 100 years ago, though. Went crazy. They say he killed his whole family and then killed himself. An abomination to the gods.
The tragedy.
And now the place is haunted. Nobody goes in there. I don't even know if anybody's been in there since he died, although I'm
Why don't
sure.
you guys just tear it down?
I was thinking the same thing.
And be cursed with ghosts? She puts her hands on her hips. Are you crazy?
I heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but if you take salt, like bags of salt, and pour it around the doors, that the ghosts can't get out, and then you can burn it down or knock it down.
Well, if you want to do it and do this town a favor, feel free. Us, we're just going to not go near the darn place.
Me and Travis were actually thinking the same thing about salt.
Mm-hmm. Nicely done.
We'll look into that in the morning. Do you have a lot of salt?
Or maybe he was kind of listening. He's like, do I have salt? Come on back here, young man.
I'll go back and see how much salt he has.
He's got barrels of it. He's like, that's the one thing we need to keep our stuff, reasonably fresh sometimes.
I'm gonna need
extend the life.
I'm gonna need a barrel of it.
A barrel?
Mm-hmm.
He says, "You really that much?
Do you want rid of these ghosts?"
He looks at the old lady and she says, well, you should do it if he's gonna be foolish enough to go up to that haunted house and risk his life and the life of his friend and the life of that beautiful young lady. Well, you should give him everything he needs. He's like, all right, well, that's fine. I'll just, some of the fish are going to rot then. But
hopefully we won't need it all.
But if it means getting rid of the curse, sure, you can have the whole barrel.
Get rid of the curse. More travelers, more money, more salt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, he's smart. This guy's smart. This could be a good business decision. Maybe we ought to throw something in the kitty for him if they succeed. Call it a bonus for results.
Whose results? I got a story about a little bit ago. I was given a ride to three brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked if they could. The back seat in my car has tinted windows, but it also has these flaps, like screens that could go up to make it darker. And we were driving, and it was getting dusk and turning into dark. And he's like, "Can you make these windows any darker?" And I said, "Yeah, you can. Those screens go up and they clip at the top, and it's pretty much, make it all black back there. You won't be able to see nothing." And then as they were driving, I could tell they were rolling joints, and I just said, "You guys cannot light up in this car at all."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Oh, no problem at all, no problem at all." So I said, and I get it. Like, I understand why, you guys have me driving. You guys need to do what you need to do, and I'm less likely to get pulled over than, three black guys. And they're like, "Oh, for sure, for sure." And I said, "Just don't be doing nothing nefarious in my car." And the one dude goes, "Who the fuck's nefarious?" And I just said, I didn't want to use the word shady that you guys would think I'm calling you shady.
Yeah,
just don't do anything.
Yeah, just don't do anything. Just please don't get me arrested. Yeah. Come on, brothers.
Cal said that the amount of commercials and pop-ups are ridiculous.
I have it set to conservative, Cal. I don't know what's going on. I haven't changed anything. I don't know what the hell is up.
YouTube's got a case of the meanies.
That's YouTube. Yep. I have it. They will run their ads whether I do anything or not. So I set it to the lowest, like the most conservative. So, sorry. You have to fight your way through.
If you subscribe for $49 a month, you get the half ads.
Yeah. YouTube Prime. All right. So they're like, the Oren comes over. You sure about this? Are you really going to do this?
Tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Oh, let's give them all a song, and let's pass the hat around. Throw it in.
Yeah.
Bonus for results.
Only for results.
Only for results. Well, one of us will come up there and see your results. For they're some jolly good fellows. For then everybody kind of like slowly, joins in. It's one of those kind of songs,
Hey, man,
It's 5 o'clock on a Saturday.
Regular crowd shuffles. All right. With that, everybody seems to be excited. Like there's like a buzz. Like, did you hear? They're gonna make sure that house is no longer haunted here. You're getting a lot of like people come over. These strangers. They're patting you guys on the back. Some of the men are taking some liberties and kissing Aurora on the cheek, which she, it's not like a Joe Spiro or anything. It's just just on the cheek. And they're like, you guys are the bravest people we've ever seen. Nobody will ever go near that place. The voices you'll hear on the way up. I only got halfway up, says one guy. It was the most freaky thing ever.
What did they say? The voices.
Turn back before you get killed too. You're next.
Oh.
I have only begun. I've only just begun.
You've only just begun.
It sounds like a character I know in the streets.
That's right.
Of Imperial
Yeah.
City.
Sounds like Rogan's character. Lopping off Skeeter's head. Yeah, so now these people are genuine, by the way. They're not clowning you or anything. They do appear to be like, they thank you very much.
Good. It's still freaky as hell, but still good.
Pretty soon after everybody, the last person's left, Oren goes and says, "Well, I'm going to lock the front door. Your rooms are all ready. I took care of them during the last hour." He says, "Do you need anything brought up?
I don't think.
Do you have any sacks or anything in your cart that you need taken up?"
We probably should take our stuff up.
Yeah, we can take that. I'll take care of that.
And he's like, "Oh," all right. He unlocks the door. "Go ahead and grab it now, and then
There's
I'll close it."
accommodations for the horses and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. There's a place you can kind of shelter them out, kind of behind. It's almost is like a barn, sort of, but it'll keep them protected from the elements. All right, so when you bring everything in,
yes,
he shows you up to your rooms. It's just a very simple layout: 2 rooms on one side, 2 on the other. He says, "I put you, across the hall from each other, if that's okay. Those are the 2 best rooms up front here." He's like, "My lady, yours is here." Yeah, it seems he gave her the best.
All right.
And gentlemen, this is yours.
I take my bag and put it in the one room. I take Aurora's bag and Rorik's bag and put them in the other room.
All right.
I probably don't notice that.
All right. He says, "Well, good night." He's like, I'll be sleeping, below. He's like, I hope you don't mind snoring. I sleep. I'm a very heavy sleeper.
That's okay.
So,
and again, the meal was delicious.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll tell him get a good night's rest. Tomorrow's a big day.
Oh, you got the whole village in a tizzy. We're gonna give you a blessing on your way up. He's like, "All right, good night." Aurora's kind of chuckling. She says, "Well, I'm going to turn in," and she kind of smiles and closes the door, before you can say anything. And then maybe you walk in and you realize, like, "Hey, where's my stuff?"
Yeah.
With her.
Oh. I will walk across the hall. I'll knock on the.
I close as he leaves my room. I close my door.
All right. She opens the door and she has her hands on her hips, much like the old gossipy lady.
Right.
And she's like, "Well, that was a nice little trick you pulled."
Oh, I didn't.
Bop. She kind of looks at you.
Pull a trick on you.
And then she maybe you have that kind of look in your eye. You kind of are gasping for words.
Yeah.
And she throws her arms around you and then
step closer.
Yep. Kisses you.
Pick her up.
Boom.
And the rest is history.
All right. Maybe that's a good place to laugh. It's a happy place to leave off. And that takes us at 3 hours exactly. All right. Well, join us next week. Rorik got laid. Hallelujah.
Rorik gets tested for an STD.
You got to bang Raquel Welch. On guard.
On guard.
On guard.
All right, guys. I want to thank you all for sticking around. The Ghost of Karen Carpenter. I want to catch some of these. Oh, yeah, Opera Browser. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, Opera is actually pretty good. Snake Oil Sean. Instead of salt, you could have asked for oil in a match.
We'll get that stuff tomorrow.
That's part 2 of the plan.
Yeah. Yeah, BT, they say it's a new crew that has an appreciation for chainmail women. I'm going to take them at their word, and we'll see. And look, if they screw us over, then good. It's dead to us. But that doesn't mean you guys can't do as you wish. I certainly don't blame you. That's what happens.
I just can't reiterate enough. I like that heavy metal magazine. I remember the first copy I picked up. I remember where it was at. I remember who I was with. Like, it was very impactful.
Yeah. Yeah. Just some haunting. Thank you, Cal, by the way, for always being there, Doc. Netflix closed their video game studio, having released 0 games. Well, that's where your $15 a month is going. Ironcaster, good to see you, my friend. Yep, Knight. Good show all around, guys.
Draw steel.
Draw and steal. All right, it's because he asked for it. We'll go with a little Marisha car wash action. So you guys take care.
Good night, everybody.
Join next week. I may have a surprise for you.
Good night, everybody. Have a great week.
Thank you for your generosity.
Yep. Take care. Thanks, everybody. Yep. For your generosity, super chats, all that stuff. Peace. See you soon.